It is Tuesday, April 28th. It is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. Can you believe we're almost at the end of April, SP3?
Feels like just yesterday. It was just starting. We were
It
in
does.
WrestleMania week like yesterday.
Oh, thank God that's over. It does feel like this year has gone by very fast, though. Like it feels like Tanahashi's retirement match was like a month ago, and now it's almost 4 months ago at this point.
Yeah, I was talking about like best pay per views of the year. I almost forgot to mention Wrestle Kingdom because that felt like so long ago.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like it's gone by very fast this year. But we are here and the end of April now. It's a couple of I guess kind of a couple of slow weeks until Backlash is next weekend, and then we get into Double or Nothing at the end of the month. But I don't think there's anything major going on this New Japan. Couple of New
Wrestling
Japan
Dontaku
shows.
is this
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah, 2 nights of wrestling Dontaku. So there is that. I did watch the Stardom matches that were recommended. I watched the three that were recommended. So I got that in. We can talk about that. We have some. We'll start with a little bit of breaking news. Yes, NXT PLEs now airing on the CW network, beginning with Great American Bash. Why did I say it? Bash?
Bash,
Great,
Bash, you're
Great
showing
American.
off the accent.
Southern accent. Beginning with Great American Bash in the summer, just the summer. No
They're
dates.
waiting. They're waiting to figure out how they could do it on an AEW pay per view date. There's
Yeah,
like, when is redemption? That's when
yeah,
the
yeah.
Great American Bash is gonna be.
Exactly. Honestly, now that it's on like network TV too, like this would be the time to try to cut into stuff for AEW, because before when it was on Peacock, like it's still from their perspective made sense to do it of like, we're gonna cut into their viewership, but like Peacock, it's got a lot of subscribers, but again, I don't know how many people watching WWE. Network TV is going to be available in way more homes than subscribers as well. But yeah, I don't think you're wrong that they're going to try to cut into the AEW pay per view with the first PLE. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they we're kind of used to it, so it won't get the same backlash that I got in 2025. But it's gonna be interesting. I just am like, damn, they have really struggled since this whole Peacock deal kind of expired or was in the mist. Them leaving early as well. Like, yeah, it's been interesting to see all the moves they've done with like the NXT PLEs, WWE PLEs are now on ESPN Unlimited. Like, you got to have cable, Netflix, ESPN Unlimited, and what else? Yeah, that seems to be the thing to get everything you want to watch from WWE in the United States.
yeah. Or you can just get Netflix and get a VPN. Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Still have to pay and spend money on that too.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. Like you gotta spend money on this stuff regardless. You know what I like really miss about cable, and I've thought about this for a while, but it's very, very prevalent uh, during these months. Is just like the channel flipping ability. Like you can't do
Yeah,
that with all of these streaming services because it takes so long to load. Half of these apps suck and crash anyway. Like I can't just press the button on my remote that says last and it flips back to the last channel that I went to. Like I really missed that during I was watching like Raw last night, and a commercial comes on. I was like, oh, I really want to flip to the basketball game right now. And like you can't like, oh, I got to close out of Netflix. Now I got to open Peacock. I got to wait for the ad to play on Peacock before I get to the game. And then by the time that happens, it's like, well, Raw's back on now. So now I got to flip back to Raw to see what's going on. Like I got multiple screens.
it's
This is
annoying.
a very first world thing of like I have multiple screens. I have it all going on my multiple screens. But I was just thinking about it last night of like I wish I could just hit like the last button and flip right back to the channel that I just
Yeah,
had. Because that was imagine like trying to watch Monday Night Wars now, but you only have like one TV. There's no like flipping ability there. Like I said, you got to close everything out,
Oh,
load everything up, and by the time you get there, the show you want to watch is back on.
we didn't even have to think that far back with the Monday Night Wars. The Wednesday Night Wars was like that. I used to be able to just go back and forth between USA and TNT when the Wednesday Night Wars started in 2019. And yeah, it's a different wrestling world now with everything going on, because now AEW's on my AEW for myself, or for on in the US is on HBO Max. So yeah, so different.
I don't like the CW deal because I don't have cable, and
Me, yeah. I didn't either.
CW app doesn't have live TV. Like everything is just it's next day stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch NXT. I watch it through other means. And now that's gonna have to be the case here, which it's dumb that their app doesn't have live TV. It should be, if you do have cable and you have a login, like you should be able to watch live TV, because that's what all these other apps have. Like USA used to. USA's gone to complete trash with this now. But TNT has this, TBS has this, which is nice. But yeah, CW doesn't have this, and I think that's really lame that they don't. Because I use my friend has cable, and I just use his access for everything. But
Nice.
I don't understand why these apps just don't have like the live TV version if you do have like a cable subscription. But they just want to funnel everybody into cable. I guess I should just do the VPN thing because it's actually pretty cheap. I didn't realize like kind of how cheap it was. But then the fact that like everything's on Netflix, I could probably honestly write it off too because it's so cheap.
You could.
Yeah.
You should.
I
That's
mean,
what
I
you
can,
should
but
do.
I'm saying like I could not only like write it off for tax purposes. I could probably just like expense it to the website. I was like, hey, I'm gonna subscribe to the VPN
No,
thing, and yeah, and then be like, all right, sure, yeah, I just charge it to Sean.
yeah,
Probably, yeah,
that
sure.
makes sense. Plus, it's very beneficial for AEW with my
Yeah, with
AEW.
my AW, yeah,
$20 for Dynamite, Collision, ROH TV, the ROH pay per views, and AEW pay per views. I was like, oh, this is a steal. This is
yeah.
WWE Network, but on extreme version, because WWE Network never had live TV on it.
Does my AW, does it have like a Roku app or anything? Does anybody know?
Yeah, I
Anybody in
watch
the
it on the
chat?
TV.
Okay, but
Yeah.
is it like, do you have a Roku? Does it have like the
No,
Roku app?
I have a Fire Stick.
Okay. Okay. Ryan says it does. Okay. All right. Cool. I mean, I don't want to pay like $20 for another subscription. Like I already subscribed to HBO Max, so I'm not too caught up on like watching Dynamite and Collision. The pay-per-views I'm able to watch without having to pay for that anyway. So like my AW,
Nice.
it's not a necessity for me. Now if it becomes that way, then all right, well I'll have to figure that out. But the WWE stuff definitely is an issue just because like yeah, CW doesn't have a live
Yeah.
streaming app. USA Network no longer does either, which is super annoying because they did away with that in like January. So I'm not able to watch SmackDown through like the TV app and everything. So WWE makes, and I already have Netflix, so I'm basically just paying for the VPN, not any other like subscription service on top of that. I'll have to look into it. I'll have to look
Yeah, it's
into
just
it.
nice
But
for me to be here and I can just watch
yeah,
all WWE on Netflix and then all AEW on my AEW.
yeah, no, that's I can definitely understand that. I would feel the same way if again I would AW wasn't already so accessible. Yeah, WWE is the one that's not accessible
Yeah,
right now
it's
at this
too
point.
many different places in the US. I would definitely if
But
and when I go back, I'm gonna definitely get a VPN because it is nice. It is nice to not have to get all these different places.
like this is what WWE wants. I mean, Nick Khan has talked about, or who was Shapiro, Emmanuel, one of these people. They all think the same, so I can attribute this to anybody. I think with Shapiro, he talked about it of the NBA is on Peacock, and it's on ESPN and ABC, and it's on Amazon, and it's like you got to go, and it's all on the local networks. So you got to have like 5 different services to watch the NBA. I don't know where the games are half the time. I was like, all right, tonight's games are on Peacock, cool. Oh, tonight's games are on ESPN, and now these games are on Amazon. It's like, all right, like I'm glad they're all accessible. Don't get me wrong. Like I don't need NBA Network like you used to need, because this Cavs and Raptors series is an NBA Network ass series. So at least you don't
NBA
need like that.
TV.
Yeah, NBA TV. Sorry. Yeah, but at least like you don't need that anymore. But it's still, you do need. All right, well now you need Prime, now you need Peacock, now you need the ESPN app, and like I have all of them, but it's all just as expensive as cable. Like it was just much easier to just have cable. And again, it was much easier, and you could hit the little back button on your TV, and you could easily flip
go
to this
between
stuff.
the different games too. Like it was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Guys, if you're here, leave a thumbs up on the video. We appreciate that. That helps us out on the channel. Leave a super chat. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. Leave a I already said thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. That helps us out as well. We appreciate all of that. We got shorts, we got clips, we got live shows, we got a little bit of everything over here. So I hope everybody's doing well on this Tuesday. As I mentioned, SP3, I watched the Stardom show. We will talk about basketball at the end of the show. The network has yelled at us to put basketball at the end of the show. Did you see Frank Isola yell about like Kenny Beecham getting like an hour on do you know who Kenny Beecham is?
Oh, I know King of the Fourth Quarter.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just shocked. Anybody is. I will not allow this. He is one of my favorite content creators out there, Kenny Beecham, and he's so positive, so nice. How dare anyone talk bad about Kenny Beecham?
So apparently he got like an hour show on Sirius XM at 12 o'clock on Mondays, and this cuts into the starting lineup show on Sirius, because I guess that used to run, or still does, every other day but Monday. It would run 10 to 1, but now on Mondays it only runs 10 to 12 because Kenny's show runs from 12 to 1. And so they're doing this can I just play the audio? Will we get dinged for playing like the audio on
I think
this?
if we talk over it, I think we'll be fine. I'm not sure.
But like it's not like a copyrighted thing. It's not music. It's audio from another podcast or from another radio show. I won't play it. Ryan says I might get dinged, so I don't want to take the chance. So anyway, they're talking about it, and Frank Isola, people are saying it's transformative, so you're fine regardless. If you talk about it, then it's transformative. Yeah, you're just okay. All right, people are saying it's fine. All right, I'm gonna pull up the audio then. Hold on.
Yeah, it's also, it protects you to copyright law if we're commentating over it. If we're commentating on something, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the audio.
I had to learn all of this when I decided on the second channel we were gonna review the fall off, and I had to play the clips, and then I got copyright dinged, and then I looked up the fair use law, and I just sent it back to them. I just copied and pasted fair use law, and they took the copyright off. So
okay, all right, all right. I'm gonna pull up my Twitter feed. Yeah. It says you need express written consent from Major League Baseball. Fair. All right, let me. Oh no, wrong button. Hold on. Let me share my screen here.
I agree with Old Nutty. Kenny is one of the few people that I've seen like that he just got put on and got, made his name as a YouTuber, and then got on NBC, and now of course he's talking about him being on Sirius XM, and he didn't have to put down anyone. He's so positive. That's why I had that face like, wait, what? Why is anybody complaining about Kenny Beecham? Kenny Beecham's like the nicest person on YouTube.
Okay, so I'll pause it, and we'll every now and again, and we'll talk about it a little bit. I'm not going to expose my DMs. I don't even know who this DM is from, honestly. It's probably from you or Joel. I'm not gonna click it.
I didn't say it. Said anything.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So here it is. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to set this up too much. I kind of did, but you'll see what I'm talking about as
and we could just read what Kenny said. This is weird.
Yeah.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. So here we go.
The first place to talk hoop.
Everybody can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to double check that. Okay. All right. Now here we go.
Is on the starting lineup with Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine.
All right, the Kenny Beecham Hour with Kenny Beecham, aptly named. God forbid we name it the Frank Isola Brian Scalabrine Show, but we've only been doing this show here for about how many years now, Brian? 15. That
He's so salty.
Yeah.
when you
so
walk in
salty,
first
right off the
day, they're
bat.
going to name a show after you. Debuting today at noon Eastern on NBA Radio Channel 86 and the SiriusXM app. And whoever did the read, and Warren wanted me to read this, Brian, he wanted me to write that Mondays just got better, which means our show, they'll be taking an hour off our show. And Warren wants me to write that Mondays just got better.
So mad about the copy.
Better because you got cut an hour.
Yeah. He's so mad that he has to do this read of Mondays just got better.
Now an hour of our show will be cut. Does that make sense to you?
Can I just tell you one thing?
Oh, boy.
Right now, you need to calm down.
Red Mamba had to tell
on
him,
this
relax.
one. Just
Relax.
calm down.
Scalabrine is so great during this, by the way. You'll continue to hear it, but Scalabrine's very good during this.
I mean, give me a break.
Frank,
Like, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Nationally.
I gave you your warning.
Nationally, who's got a bigger name? Brian Scalabrine or Kevin Beecham?
Oh
Kenny
my
Beecham.
God,
Kenny
really?
Who's got a bigger name, me or him?
Kenny Beecham.
Kenny Beecham.
Bull.
Kenny Beecham. Absolutely.
Frank,
he does.
Frank.
He does
Frank.
PTI?
Don't tell me to calm
Still
down.
on
Who
PTI.
cares about you?
I don't want to hear about Twitter.
You were like,
People buy their people buy.
He's like a sea level around the horn fucking freaking like guest. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
he references
Isola.
PTI. Yeah, he references PTI. I was like I used to love PTI. I haven't watched it in forever. If I do happen to catch it, like I ain't watching it unless it's Tony and Mike. I don't care who else is on it.
I literally had no idea. I see the picture there, but I was like, I know that name from somewhere, but I don't know who he is. And I literally had to look it up. And then I see this great picture of him looking miserable, like how he sounds right now. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you're like a C level, not even C level. He's like a D level freaking sports writer on Around the Horn.
All right, keep going.
Followers.
Warren, just remember, I've told Frank just to go, man. Chill, man. Chill.
Who is he? Who is he? He's taking an hour of our show. Warren wants me to write that it just got better. That we're not going to have an hour of our show.
All right.
Who is he?
Scowl
Man,
just
did you
wants
see
him to
Pritchard
stop.
yesterday?
So you're like you're so corporate. You're so corporate, man. It's
Chime.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. He works for NBC. You know, if he works for NBC, can you have the Orlando game start an hour earlier tonight? Why is that game at 8:00?
Yeah,
Maybe he gets an hour. Does he get an hour on the pregame show from
I'm
7
stuck,
8?
I'm stuck in this world forever. Frank is never going to let me out.
Scowl just wants to
Why don't
move
you give
on.
him the hour between 7 and 8 when the game should be starting? Why are they starting at 8:00 in Orlando tonight?
Well, I will say this. We are the starting lineup. It does seem like at this point it should be our show, right?
The sports
Well,
writers
how about
are so
you have a
miserable.
new person
They're
show up
miserable people,
and like
apparently.
he preempts our show and he gets an hour of our show and they name the show after him.
Well, you want to get him on air? You want to ask him?
Are you crazy?
So, I came across that yesterday. Yes, Louis. We're going to say basketball talk and started talking about basketball.
We're not talking about basketball. We're talking about beef. We're talking about sports writer, content creator beef, which we are the perfect people to talk about this because you have a wrestling writer and a wrestling content creator. Like, this is why this is relevant right now. We are the perfect people to discuss this type of stuff.
So, I like this starting lineup. It's a show that I listen to when basically when I do the long drives from here to North Carolina or now to Virginia, because it's on early and I'm driving early, and so I like the basketball talk when it's on and everything. So I actually like that show. I don't think it's always been Frank Isola. I think it's been somebody else before it was him. I like Scalabrini, I should say, more than I like the overall show. But I do like the show. I'm not like against it or anything. This was just riddled with like bitterness and not understanding that how media works now and how things move and everything. And it's very funny because I'm pretty sure Scalabrini works with Kenny on NBC. Because I'm pretty sure NBC is on, or Scalabrini's on NBC as well. I think Scalabrini's very good, mind you.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but him, like Scalabrini, just being like, dude, you don't want to do this. Trust me, you don't want to do this. And he's like looking for reassurance of like, who has a bigger name, me or Kenny Beecham? And it's like,
Kenny Beecham.
Yeah.
And
like,
he thinks that he's joking. He's not.
No,
I know.
No.
I could give you like 10, 15 different people that if you said, do you know Kenny Beecham or do you know Frank Isola more? Most of them would tell you Kenny Beecham.
Yeah. It's I'm not super familiar with Kenny. I know him through like I've started to know him more through like the NBC stuff, and I'm like, oh, he seems cool and everything. And then he just pops up on my timeline with stuff because he is super popular. But it's very funny. I don't think Kenny has like replied in any way to that outside of just doing like that kind of quote tweet game or not even quote tweet, just like that clip. I did go to Isola's account and he tweeted something just about like one of the games, and all of his his tweet was just, I love how the Knicks suddenly operate like they're Barcelona minus the trophies, the standard championship you see her later. And it's nearly 700 replies, 100 quote retweets, and 250 likes. I'll give you a guess at what the majority of those 700 replies are about. Yeah, it is just basically like, dude, you suck. Why are you taking shots at Kenny? Like, never heard of you until you tried to slander Kenny. Now you're an asshole. Like, that's all it is. Like, his replies are just a wasteland, rightfully so. It's not even like a wasteland in that way, but just a wasteland of people like, yeah, you went after Kenny and now here's the backlash you are about to receive.
Like Kenny, I've known Kenny's content for, I want to say like 10 years. He's been doing like NBA 2K content, and I'm when I was playing NBA 2K, I was big into like the rebuild right. Culture, and rebuild YouTube channels gave me ideas to do my rebuilds and stuff. So I've known of Kenny for at least like 10 years, but like he didn't realize how popular this kid is. I can't call him a kid. He got a kid himself. So like he has 744,000 subscribers on his Kenny For Real channel, which is just him freaking talking about the NBA. Then the King of the Fourth Quarter channel, which is his first channel, which was only for the NBA 2K rebuilds. I'm trying to see, and yeah, he still does the rebuilds. He doesn't do it as often as he used to, but he still does the rebuilds. 1.47 million subscribers.
Yeah.
I don't think 1.47 million people have read an article from Rick Isola.
The bitter sports writer stuff is, I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't get it. I'm gonna start gatekeeping wrestling news writing, as I get older.
This is basically the NBA equivalent of what we just went through last week with Dave Meltzer beefing with Conrad Thompson.
Is it?
It's kinda, because Kenny does a lot of podcasting, and
Yeah, but Conrad, like I like Conrad.
It's that both of them are known. This is
Yeah.
like a nobody. This is basically the J. Cole beef with the guy from Fayetteville.
I don't know if it's quite.
He's got the Kenny 2 YouTube channel, 332,000 subscribers. Then he has his podcast, which really kind of got him his door into the NBC gig, 312,000 subscribers. He's been on First Take. He's been on Stephen A. Smith's show. Like I've seen Kenny on all these different platforms, and he's all started from like YouTube, where Frank Isola, if he wasn't a guest on Around the Horn or the fill-in D-level sports writer on PTI, I would not even know that name.
SpongeBoy Loves Grap says, "What are bitter sports writers bitter about?" Generally, genuine question, because I don't know. I really just think it's an old head type of thing. It's not even necessarily about like the bitter sports writers. It's just sort of like the older generation is bitter about a lot of different things. Like I love Inside the NBA. Shaq is never going to give Rudy Gobert his credit no matter what. Like, Shaq is just bitter about things, and Shaq has nothing to be bitter about. Shaq is always going to be one of the greatest centers of all time. He has multiple championships. He's well respected by everybody. Like, he has nothing to be bitter about. It's just he's not going to give certain people credit, and like, you know, Barkley was kind of hating on the Warriors when they were on the come up of like, oh, jump shooting teams don't win championships, Ernie. And it's like, well, these jump shooting teams are now winning championships. Like the 3-point shooting team is winning championships, and like Barkley couldn't accept that. It's not necessarily just about sports writers. It's just old people be bitter. Like, that's sort of what it is. And to your point of like what we went through with Dave and Conrad, I don't think it's quite on that level, but I do think you see it with Dave, and I like Dave, but you see him having trouble just like accepting how media has changed, and that's why he continues to reference Frank DeFord and is like, he gave me credit 20 years ago for my work, and I'm like, that's great. But it's a different world. It's a different world than it was 20 years ago when it comes to media and how content is consumed and everything. But yeah, we see it all the time in wrestling. These people, they get mad at people like Malcolm who are like, why is asking about these Waffle House questions and stuff. Like, this is the content that like kind of works now. This is the content that works for his subscription base. Like, I ain't gonna get mad at that. Like, you guys keep doing you know? So that's why I hope I'm never one of these people that is just like, I can't believe these people are coming up the way that they are. I'll gatekeep wrestling news writing to a certain extent, mainly of I want it to have some type of, I'm going to put integrity in quotes because it's wrestling news. There ain't too much integrity in it. But I want there to be like some sort of standards when it comes to that. But however you get the news, however you kind of write about it and stuff, like if it's working for you, I'm cool with that. Just again, don't be misleading, don't outright lie on stuff, and like that's fine. But however you got to do your thing, you know, do your thing on that, because I have accepted that there's different content out there for different people. Would I do certain things a certain way? Probably not. But does that mean I'm mad at people who do things a certain way? No. We have this conversation every time when it comes to the press conferences. Like, would I ask this question at the press conference? No. But am I mad that somebody asked that question at the press conference? No. Like, it's what they are looking for. Stop asking, hey, when are you coming back here? When are we having baby? Stop asking that dumbass question. I will gatekeep that. But otherwise, like, fine. You know, do what you need to do.
Oh, that was funny. I needed that laugh. Don't come at Kenny Beecham. I'm a Kenny Beecham supporter. I support that dude. Living the dream.
I wait a few years. Father Time turns us all into cranky old men. I'm cranky about certain things. I get cranky about music. My kids always yell at me about that. I was like, I just don't understand this stuff you guys are listening to. Can we throw on some like real hip hop, not this noise you were just listening to here? You know, I get cranky about the music.
I get cranky with mostly my daughter. My son doesn't say anything, but my daughter today you. They was left with me as the mom went out, and my daughter was like, I don't want to watch wrestling. Wrestling is crap. And I was like, you just watch Coco Melon. That's crap.
Wow, you're taking shots at the Coco Melon.
Coco Melon is annoying. Oh my god. It is brain rot content. That's what it is.
See, I don't watch the Coco Melon, so I don't fully know how the Coco Melon is. Everyone knows how I feel about the Bluey. Bluey's an asshole. I'll continue to say it.
No, Bluey's awesome.
Bluey's an asshole.
Bluey is a great show. I will watch that with my daughter. I will watch Bluey with my daughter. I'll even watch if she puts on Talking Tom. I'll watch that with her. Coco Melon, I cannot stand. I cannot
Talking
stand
who?
Coco Melon. Talking Tom.
I don't know. Oh, I only know Talking Tom through Harlem because Harlem talks about Talking Tom. I don't know Talking Tom otherwise.
Peppa is the asshole. Yeah, Peppa Pig is the asshole.
I don't like Peppa either. I don't like any of these people. All these people are assholes. I watch the Doc McStuffins. That I can get behind. I do like the Doc McStuffins.
She'll watch that sometimes.
Yeah.
But my son watches Bluey as well. So Bluey's all right with me. Bluey's all right with my boy. We had a whole conversation with my kids and my nephew's kids. They just talked about Bluey, and me and my nephew would chime in every so often, be like, yeah, well, I like that episode. I like that episode too. And of course, Harlem would be the one to be like, that is season 2, episode 36.
I can't get behind the Bluey. I'm trying to think what else the kids have watched over the years. A lot of it is kind of sort of the more adulty kids shows. And now I can't think of them at all. And I don't think my wife is watching. She texts me a bunch of them. But like Craig of the Creek. Craig of the Creek, that was a show. That one was fun. That was fun. There's been some other stuff. There's one that was really good. Oh, now it's gonna bug me. She did the my mind is just like completely blank on this stuff. The girl from Bob's Burgers, Louise from Bob's Burgers did one. Not Louise. Hold on.
Tina?
Kristen Shaw. Yeah, Louise. Kristen Shaw did one of the voices. Gravity Falls. You guys watch the Gravity Falls?
Okay.
That's a good show.
Yeah. My younger nephew used to watch that.
Yeah, that's a good show. Joel's here for some reason. Alexa Bliss Gamer knew it was. We're not even to your segment here, Joel. Are you just gonna hang out backstage? What do you want?
What segment are we talking?
I've only got so much time in my day.
Okay.
Also,
what segment are you talking about?
You guys are also talking about kids shows, and that's way up my alley right now because my child watches no kids shows because they're awful. They're all terrible. Coco Melon is absolutely the worst thing in the world.
It is brain rot. Oh my god.
There are, and for those of you who maybe don't have children, but you're interested in like child psychology and development, there's one thing I want everyone to look at. There's a video about like how the iPad culture and showing kids under 2 videos like Coco Melon have messed up their attention span forever because of the amount of cuts in the video. And I've talked about it on the show before, but like Coco Melon, it has like a cut every 90, like it's not 90 frames. It's like less than a second type of thing. It's really quick cutting. Whereas old shows from like the 70s and 80s, they took their time before they cut to the next camera angle, things like that. And as a result, like we're not as messed up. So yeah, Coco Melon's awful. It's just garbagey. Don't ever show your kids Coco Melon ever.
Yeah, I argue with my missus all the time that our kids should not be watching this. This is really bad for them.
And like everything was brain rot when you were a kid. It's true, but like it's getting progressively worse. And this is the old man in me, but it's also the fact that like, yeah, you've got all of these kids shows that are just like cut, and you have no attention span. No one can pay attention for longer than like 60 seconds because they're just messing around with the camera angles every frame. It seems it's messed up.
It is. So you're here to talk about that, Joel?
No, I'm actually here because the chat wanted me to talk about Joe Hendry's Time for Concert yesterday.
Yeah, Joel got bullied into reviewing the Joe Hendry concert segment from last night. By the way, there's the banner. Congratulations. Congratulations to Triple H on his new contract. Well deserved. This is what we do.
This is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do. So,
do you think he'll be coming around here to take a victory lap, or are we the vocal minority?
Maybe.
We're the vocal minority, guys.
We shall see what Friday brings. If Paul might show up on Friday. We shall see.
SP3, have you considered rebranding as the vocal minority?
Oh, that should be my new nickname. That's awesome.
That's
guys.
Racist.
No,
that's a racist comment.
He knows my type of humor. That is my type of humor. Oh, I am definitely changing my name. I am definitely changing my name now. It's going on Twitter as this show is going on. That's gonna be my new heading. No more acronyms to new media forbidden door. It is now SP3, the vocal minority.
I knew that it was very not PC. I knew this, but I also knew that of all the people who was going to get it, it's this guy.
It's done.
You knew
it's done. It's done. It is done.
I shouldn't be as proud of myself for this as I am.
That owns.
Oh God.
That is true, Vala. I still get comments on that post of me calling Bron a YN last year.
Really?
People did not get it.
No, I remember that. And yeah, that was.
And I was right, but I was right. I was like, they treat him like a YN.
All right, let's get into Raw, and let's start with the greatest segment ever that Joel now has to review. So Joe Hendry comes out because it's a time for concerts, and he announces via song that he is signing with Raw.
You gotta sing it raw. Sing it with me, Graves. Raw. I'm beyond raw.
And then he asks for Logan Paul to be fired. And Joel was very fired up in the group chat about this.
Was I?
Yeah. I'm just going to go along with it, okay?
All right.
Joel is very fired up in the group chat.
So mad.
I can't believe they made reference to releases of a guy getting fired just a couple of days after releases. What the fuck is wrong with this company? Who approved this? I can't believe Joe Hendry would go out there and do this. The sanctity of Joe Hendry and his parody songs, that he would say these things. This company have no self-awareness. He should have been singing about record profits that he's making as well. I'm shocked they didn't do that. Those are all messages Joel sent in our group chat last night. SP3 can confirm those messages, by the way.
Yes,
so,
this sounds accurate.
Joel, go ahead.
Those his DMs when he's watching stuff on screen.
Now am I going to put my DMs on screen?
Well, you're talking about the DMs in the group chat, so
I'm not going to put those on screen.
Anyway, this time for concert was really not good. And as everyone's pointed out, including us yesterday, like they won't let him do the type of concert or the type of song that he is good at doing, and that's a parody. They will not allow him to do any sort of parody because I don't know what they're afraid of. Parody law is like it's not a copyright issue in the States, as far as I understand it. If you there's no revenue to share either. It's not like this is Weird Al doing a new song and like parodying like a virgin and doing like a surgeon. Like, wow, I just dated myself there. He's doing White and Nerdy. Anyway, you get it.
See me rolling.
Great song. Got him his first #1. Anyway,
really?
I know, right? I couldn't believe it. Weird Al, that was the song that did it. It wasn't Gangsta's Paradise. Wasn't him doing Amish Paradise. No, it was
Wow.
White and Nerdy. That's the song.
I mean, White and Nerdy was awesome, but yeah, I wouldn't have thought that was
up.
the first #1.
I think it's just because he got the rap down and he really he did it really well. So
I get it, but like Eat It didn't get #1. Like,
no, he didn't do it. No, because he was still kind of underground at that point. Not underground, but like not nearly as popular as he became over the years. Like I would say doing Amish Paradise kind of broke him into the mainstream of like parody, like King of Parody. And then after that, like he just kind of kept climbing. White and Nerdy was the one that did it.
But I get it wasn't like full on a parody, but Anakin's song
he had to do all like 6 minutes of it.
I guess
a long ass song. It was popular,
sure.
but like the movie wasn't very good to begin with, so that didn't help.
Weird Al is awesome, but that movie with Daniel Radcliffe sucked.
I haven't seen it. I've got it sitting on a hard drive ready to go, and I just can't commit the time. I think I just don't have the attention span. Too much Cocomelon.
You need more camera cuts on it.
I do.
That does it.
I'll be the one to go and just recut the entire film, and every second it's a new camera cut. So the Joe Hendry stuff just wasn't funny, and then you've got Michael Cole screaming raw, and I'm just like, please stop. This is making it worse. And it gets even better when he starts doing the Fire Logan Paul stuff, because listen, they just fired a bunch of people, and now they're using it in the most like the dumbest way, because Joe Hendry's a babyface, and he's being used despite being the new guy who was brought up because all of these people were released. Like, he is the beneficiary of these people getting fired. And I go back to this all the time. Joe Hendry, when he started in Impact, he was a heel, but people cheered for him because he was doing such zany shit. But like, he was getting women impregnated when they were in relationships, taking money from people who were on their deathbed.
Like Vrabel ass character.
Much. He was Vrabel without Vrabel. He was a bad guy, but because he did song and dance routines, he got over and became a good guy. And AJ Francis pointing out, like, he never got as big as he did when he did the song in Vegas, when he did "Could You Please Retire," and after that it all went downhill.
No, can you please be fired?
Is it "Can You Please Get Fired"?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
this is fired as well.
That's why I didn't view it as. I know you explained it well why you thought that. That's why I didn't think that at all. That's why I gave you the question mark when you were getting upset or saying that he's shooting on the release talent. I was like, he's done this before. He always wants the biggest heel on whatever show he's gonna be on to be fired. So I just thought it was in line with his character. Honestly, this was one Joe Hendry in concert. Probably the only one since he signed with WWE that I actually liked.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there haven't been many good ones since he signed.
Exactly. This was actually good. This was good in comparison to the rest of them.
Here's the big question: better or worse than the Ricky Saints concert?
Much better than the Ricky
How
Saints concert.
dare you? First of all,
much better than the Ricky Saints concert. Ricky Saints concert made us all question if he's gonna spend another year on NXT. That's how bad that was.
They should have.
Thankfully, that didn't happen. He's gonna be on SmackDown this.
They should have kept him for another year in NXT. You know why? Because then he could have honed his guitar skills, and we could have gotten a better concert out of him. I've been told there's a time for concerts and there's a time for title defenses.
Well, he's not doing. Well, I guess he's doing concerts. He's not going to defend a title anytime.
Yeah, what title is he going to go after? The Obafemi Open Challenge?
No, he's going after the tag titles just by himself, him and his guitar, and bringing Elijah to team with him.
It's only a matter of time. Anyway, this segment, I didn't like the segment, but also the Joe Hendry concert is just, I've seen so many that they're just not good. And then Michael Cole doing backgrounds was just more egregious.
I think the Michael Cole addition to it was not good, but I thought Joe Hendry, he handled it well. The crowd ate it up. They had their cell phones out, lighting it up. They're doing the waving of the arms, and it actually is a song that can have like earworm value to it, where you can hear other people saying it. I know they're gonna run that as a bit with other people interacting with Logan Paul and sing that song to him. So this was much better than all of his concerts that he's had so far in WWE, even when he was still signed to TNA. This is the best one, honestly, to me, for Joe Hendry. This is the best one since Vegas and the "Can You Please Get Fired."
I'm just excited for Joe Hendry to one day go back to WrestleMania and win a match.
Well,
what did you think, Jeremy? You're not saying your opinion on it.
Oh, I actually agree with you, SP3. I was not like offended by this one compared to the NXT concerts, which I thought were very just kind of half-assed a lot of times. Like in NXT, it felt like, well, here's the concert guy, so let's give him some concerts, and there just wasn't much to it. This one was like, all right, you know, there's kind of a point to this. It was kind of catchy. I'm in agreement with Joel of like, maybe like let's not talk about releases after you just did releases. I get your point of like it's kind of his bit, but there's also an understanding of, again, maybe don't do this 3 days after you just released 20 talents and be like, hey, I hope you get fired as well. And like Joel said, is like, you realize you're here because a lot of those people got fired. So I can see both sides of that.
I got what Joel was going for more than his comments in our chat yesterday. He explained it very well on why he felt that way. But yeah, I just didn't see it that way, and I was more or less entertained by the segment. So, and this is not something that I've said a lot about Joe Hendry and WWE. I said this when I was on Sour Grabs with Alex Pogolowski when Joe Hendry was on NXT. I was like, they sucked all the entertaining value out of his character on NXT, where he was like a shell of the Joe Hendry character from TNA. This felt more akin to that Joe Hendry character that got over in TNA more than anything he did in NXT.
I think it helps that the arena was actually behind all of this as well, because it did feel, and this is an issue with a lot of NXT stuff, is it feels very just desanitized or sanitized. I don't know which word I'm looking for.
Sanitized or desensitized would be.
Yeah. It feels very sanitized because it's the same venue every single week, and the crowd just sort of. It feels like the crowd is part of the show of like, hey, we're turning on the clap sign now. Hey, we're turning on the boo sign now. Please give the reaction that we want here. Where at least in the bigger arenas, it feels more natural with everything. So I think that helped the segment as well.
There's another thing too with the NXT crowd. Like, it's always the same people, and therefore they become the tastemakers of NXT, and they get to show who gets over and who doesn't, because it's them. Like, it doesn't matter. Once the smartest thing NXT does is when they leave the bubble, because that at least there's an influence that comes with it, but it doesn't completely take over the audience when they go to a different place outside of the PC. But when they're doing NXT, the same Orlando studio, they are the ones in charge. Like, they can't, they can do taste making just as well as Jeff Jarrett getting a title shot revoked by Brian Alvarez.
I wanted Jeff Jarrett to win the title. Brian doesn't need to. I thought you were going with the TNA reference of Jeff always winning.
That's true. Jeff's a big winner. That's all we know. Yeah. But anyway, that was the concert, and then the Street Profits came out, and they want the smoke or the tag titles, one or the other.
They bring the swag like nobody can. Yeah. They don't mean to brag, but what about it? Yeah. I do like their theme.
This is he was referencing what he did to get Bianca Belair pregnant.
Remember when they changed their theme and it sucked? And we want smoke.
We want the smoke. Oh, Smoke.
It's very
Smoke.
funny how all Judgment Day now dunk on that theme, including Finn.
Everybody
you.
hates.
Oh
Everybody
my
hates their
God.
theme. Everybody
I have
does.
to send. I have to. You reminded me. I have to send that tweet to Sat Iniagi because I've gotten into so many arguments with him. Who defended that Judgment Day theme, saying,
sad.
"Oh, it's Memphis hip hop. I'm sure Finn really likes it." And I'm like, no one likes this theme. Everyone hates it, even them.
So bad.
It's so nondescript.
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't
it
fit.
never fit them. No, it never. Like the moment I heard it, I thought it was like a commercial break theme. I was like, oh, they're going to commercial now. Wait, why is Judgment Day coming out? Like, nah, it doesn't fit them. Yeah, the fact that like everybody hates that theme, like in the group, they're like, nah, this theme sucks. Like, can we get something else? Rules. Liv Morgan went out and created her own damn song so she didn't have to use these themes anymore.
That's me. Cherry
That's
lips
hilarious.
and bad energy. Say it once, say it twice, and I'll give it to you all night. I'll be your bad advice.
And them going from Alter Bridge to that was also like a very stark
Yeah.
change.
That's Copeland's fault. Copeland made the call and was like, you can't use this. You can't give WWE the theme anymore. Take it away from them. Not like,
I mean,
okay.
Alter Bridge probably wanted money, and TKO was like, "Who are you?"
Well, yeah, that too. But I'm just gonna blame it on Copeland. It's funnier to me. When we get him on this show, when we patch up our relationship, I'll ask him, like, did you make the call to take away the Alter Bridge theme from WWE? It's gonna be funny when he says yes.
Yeah, we're doing. Oh, there it is. It'll be our Blake Christian Axiom moment all over again.
Yeah. And he's like, you know what? I actually did, because I was like, you guys, I created this whole group and had this theme. You guys aren't using it. So, yes, I did make that call. Like, hell yeah. I would respect him more. Cope's going to earn my respect so much when he comes on this show. He's going to just.
He's just going to bury everybody.
Yeah, that rule. That's what I want him to do. That's what I want him to do. All right, Joel. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm very excited to watch this Wrestle Rant stream later when he talks about his interview with Bubba Dudley and how that.
Oh, yeah. I like Graham.
No, Graham.
Yeah, I saw.
Graham's the homie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I did see.
Serious here. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I saw that people were using quotes from the Bully Ray interview, and I saw him quote tweet it of like, I've never walked away of less of a fan than I have from this. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I respect that, Graham. So
I've never been more vindicated than I saw all the quote tweets to Bully's whole comment about the released talents and everything. And I saw like BJ Ray and people who got released from LFG quote tweeting it and saying like how Bully was not helpful at all. I was like, you see, I said this like a year ago and Bully blocked me for it. And I had a whole bunch of WWE drones defending him in my comments.
See, I don't know if like I don't know if he's doing a bit. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
he thinks he's being a character all the time.
Right.
But he's not. Like, his success came after, like, his success came as a tag team, and then he got split off because TNA didn't want to keep, like, they needed a new champion, and so Bully lost weight and, like, got something. But, like, he didn't carry TNA through any lean years or anything. He wasn't a good champion. The aces and eights were not, whatever. It's just, He's too big for his britches, and his claim to fame is bringing people to the back of ROH who disagree with me so I can tell them otherwise. Enjoy the show. It's just not good, man. You know what the best thing Bully did? It was the story he did with Josh Alexander in 2023, and that was all by Josh Alexander and Scott D'Amore. That had nothing to do with Bully. Bully just had to be Bully, and everyone else had to play their part. That was all.
How dare you? His the one final table with his emoting and the way he sold the ending there.
It was a 5-star match, bro. If you don't think it was a 5-star match, you don't understand wrestling.
I love how your Bully Ray and your Russo is the same thing.
I know. He's just New York accent. He has a box standard New York accent. For anyone who's not aware of what Bully said, he was asked about if he has any advice for WWE LFG talents who have been released, and he said, "I give them no advice. They're gone. There is one talent out there that got let go that I see working hard on her own. In season 2, we saw Hayes Jamison, now known as Pinky Montoya, out there on the independent scene. Nobody knows why she was released, but she's trying to make it on her own in the indies and trying to work her way back, maybe to LFG or to Evolve or to NXT, wherever. But I really don't have advice for these other talents. Maybe you should have taken it more seriously. Maybe you shouldn't have put your feet up on the table. Maybe you should have shook hands. Maybe you should have been more polite. Maybe you should have busted your ass a little more. Maybe you should have cut a better promo. You've got 5 minutes. Get over or get out. This is not a business for boys and girls. It's a business for men and women. I'm not here to coddle anybody. I'm here to help you sign a contract with WWE, become a millionaire, make something of yourself, and help this business thrive into the future."
Does he know how much NXT talent get paid in their first year?
75,000.
Look, here's the thing with Bully is I can't take him seriously for any of his ideas or anything, whatever, of ever since he effectively said they should run a domestic abuse angle between Jon Moxley and Renee.
Yeah.
Like, once you say that, is like, I'm done. We're done here.
I guess there's been enough time that's passed that I can actually like talk about this publicly, because I don't think I've even told you guys. I was courted to do another podcast that was kind of up and coming, and they asked me if I wanted to come in and do analysis and things like this, and I was like, I'd be interested. They needed a co-host, and I would be that guy. And they're like, okay, this is kind of what we want. We want people who are going to give some hot takes, and then I'm like, I'm not a hot takes guy. Like, I'm a pretty level-headed. Watch literally anything I do. I don't do hot takes. And like, that's fine. We'll have another guy who da-da-da-da-da. And when they got to my week to bring me on to basically screen test me, they said, oh, we have an interview. So we're going to boot you to another day. 2 weeks later, the entire project got scrapped. And they had already been doing the show up until this point. So my point to all this is these companies and these like podcasts who are being funded by, I don't know, jackpotbonanza.com, whatever betting websites you want to use, they're looking for hot take content that just gets their money's worth. And I'm not that guy. And Bully loves being that guy because he just doesn't give a shit. I give a shit about how people view wrestling and listen to it. He clearly doesn't, because he just wants to put out the most inane shit and hope that people react to it. I'm not a reactions guy.
What you're saying is you want to interview Bully Ray.
Absolutely.
All right, Joel, get out of here. You've done your segment. Thank you for doing your segment.
Thank you, Joel.
Shout out to Roxanne Perez, the most over heel baby face in the territory.
True.
See ya.
In Laredo.
That's
Bye,
right.
Joel. There you go. Joe got bullied into reviewing the Joe Hendry segment, and he didn't like it. Shocker.
Shocker. I'm shocked.
We got a super chat from Valo who says, Roman saying it would be nepotism to give Jacob a shot makes me laugh. Forget the history of wrestling. Just look at the bloodline alone. Hilarious. That's why Roman rules. He knows all this is nepotism. And he's like, I'm still
Everybody getting upset. Everybody getting upset. He said he made the World Heavyweight Championship relevant. Guess what? He did. What was the World Heavyweight Champion? Where was the World Heavyweight Championship the last 2 years at WrestleMania? In the freaking open spot. It was the opener of night 2 in 2024. It was the opener of night 1 in 2025. Roman made it the main event. Yes, he made this title relevant. It doesn't matter if it's 1 match, 2 matches, it could be 0 matches. He made it relevant.
Show starts with Roman and the Usos sitting at the table in a cinema. Oh, here we go.
You want your iPad? You said hi to Jeremy?
I lost my iPad.
Nah, she didn't care about me. She's like, can I just have my iPad?
Okay, let me get you your iPad. There you go.
Say
Say hi to Jeremy.
hi, Jeremy.
Hi, Harlem.
Some games.
She's gonna play some games. I respect it.
Playing some games. She's got stuff to do.
Fair. And she's like, can I just have my iPad? Like, what are we doing here?
She
"Quit talking."
owns.
She said,
She's
quit talking to
hilarious.
me. She said, quit talking to me. Just give me my iPad. So they're sitting at the table. Roman's at the head of the table, and he's just like, "What do we think about Jacob?" And like, he wants it. He wants to be better for his family, everything. And Roman's like, everybody had 2 years. I gave everybody 2 years. He procrastinated. I was like, man, he got stuck in a feud with Solo Sikoa for 2 years. I don't think that's like his fault, Rome. Like, come on now. And he didn't even win those matches. He was booked to lose the Solo for 2 years.
He literally had to get his win back on Friday.
Yeah. I was like, man, come on now. And then they closed. This was so funny to me. They closed with they put their hands out and they go, first family. And I was like, oh, this man just wants to take shots at Cody Rhodes every single way. And that's so funny to me. He's like, yeah, wrestling might have more than one royal family, but just remember who the first family is. It rules. I love Roman so much.
He's so good.
End of the show, Roman comes out, and as you mentioned, he's like, I had to make this title relevant again. We're in the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. We ain't opening the show like we used to be. Jacob comes out, and he's like, you had your week to decide. You've been handed stuff with the bloodline. I've been grinding illegally and legally out here for 12 years, and when you weren't calling me, Jimmy and Jay weren't calling me, Solo actually called me. And I love how Roman is like, Solo
Solo couldn't have a coffee delivered to his place. He was like, who you think signed off on that? I did. I signed off. I love Roman taking credit for everything.
Yeah.
I built this world. Everywhere where the sun is on, it belongs to you because of me. He's like the Lion King.
Rules. And then he says, I can't give you a title shot. It's nepotism. Absolutely hilarious considering all the nepotism title shots he's given over the years. Solo got a main event at SummerSlam because of Roman being, he wasn't there at the time, but it was all Roman.
He was coming back. He was returning.
There. Exactly.
He was returning, so that's the only reason he got the main event.
And then Jacob put him in the Tongan Death Grip, and I was like, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah.
Tongan Death Grip is back. And then Roman was like, all right, I'll see you at Backlash then. And then Jacob's like, I'll see you punk ass next Monday. Hell yeah.
He was like, I ain't waiting for Backlash. I'll see you next Monday. I love Jacob's promo. He said, I wasn't with you guys were sitting all pretty with the bloodline. I was on the front line, grinding illegally and legally. I was like, yes, Jacob Fatu. He got back to the grimy, gritty. I think Roman had a talk with him. He was like, I need that Jacob that first showed up here. I don't need that Jacob that's a reformed ex-convict. I need the ex-con back. I need the he gets hit with the mic and he just I was like, yes, this is what I needed. And then the Tongan Death Grip, I was like, oh, okay, I see something here. Yeah, I like this segment. This was fun. This was fun stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was a great segment, and now they're gonna headline Backlash, and should be a really good match. Hopefully they don't bog it down with a bunch of interference and whatnot, but I'm sure they will.
Backlash shaping up to be good.
Yeah. Do we make anything out of the Usos not helping Roman here?
Roman. I like the opening segment as well because it doesn't seem like Roman is treating them as subservient to him anymore. He's using them as like advisors where he got
Yeah.
advice from them and he listened to Jay and he was like, you make a good point. He is grimy. He is gritty. He's hungry and he wants this shot and he's kind of listening to what they have to say a lot more than he did throughout the whole 4-year run of the Bloodline. So I like that kind of change. And I like the fact that they let Roman handle his business on his own. And hopefully they do that as well at the pay-per-view.
I hope so as well. He didn't need the Usos at WrestleMania, so
Yeah.
I think that was supposed to be a sign of like, all right, see, he doesn't need these guys. But it also feels like the Usos are gonna play in somewhere here. It'd be very hilarious if Jacob beats Roman and Roman's like, yeah, I'll lose this title, but I'm gonna lose it to Jacob first. I'll get it back, and then I'll put over whoever you want me to put over. But let me put over Jacob first. Out here.
I'll put over Jacob first, and then we'll get back to me, and then I'll put over whoever you like. That'd
be very funny. But I think Roman's gonna win. He's gonna make Jacob look good. But I'm not fully dismissing the idea of Jacob losing. I'll give him a little bit of shot out there, just because I think Roman would want to do that.
Yeah,
I think he would want to put over Jacob. Assuming he just gets it back like 2 days later. But I think he would be okay. Just like
they got what is it? 3 shows in like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
coming up because they got Backlash. Then it's a Saturday night's main event, and then right after that is Clash in Italy. So I think it's 3 shows in 5 weeks.
I don't think he's gonna work Saturday night's main event, Roman, but
no,
I assume he's gonna work Clash in Italy. So maybe he loses to Jacob at Backlash. Jacob gets the title defense at Saturday night's main event, and then Roman gets it back at Clash in Italy. Just throwing it out there.
Could do that. Wouldn't mind it. It would shake things up quite a bit. But yeah, I like this segment. I like the build so far for Jacob and Roman and the story that they're building with the first family, aka the Bloodline. So good stuff.
Yeah. Becky Lynch came out. First appearance since winning the Women's Intercontinental title. And she said that she's as usual, the greatest alive. It's not just her saying it. SP3 says it. She's won more matches at WrestleMania than any woman. Now she's coming after the Undertaker record. And now she won. She knows everybody wants to see her be a fighting champion out there. She's not nostalgia acts with everything. They want to see her face, the new shiny toys out there. So that's why she's going to issue an open challenge. Out comes Io Sky, and she says, oh, not you. You're not new, shiny, exciting, any of those things. And he's like, oh, you're going out to accept on behalf of Rhea Ripley, right? So, I can be Becky Two Belts again. And yeah, the part where when she turned it down and the crowd booed and she's like, see, they're booing. They don't want to see this. And then they came back with the EO chant. I was like, all right, you know what? That was good stuff right there. And he's like, yeah, you come out for Rhea Ripley, right? You're accepting for her. She's like, I want to face Shawn, not Marty.
I want Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, he said, I want to face Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. And then Io smacked her and started to attack her. Becky rolled out. Political Pierce came out and made the match official. So they got into the match. Becky ended up retaining after Asuka came out and tripped Io on the apron. And then as she got back in the ring, Becky hit the manhandle slam for 3. And that set up Io and Asuka for Backlash as the crowd chanted, "We want Kairi," after Asuka attacked Io after the match and put her in the chokehold. What'd you make of all this, SP3?
Yeah, surprised that we didn't get the "We Want Kyrie" chant earlier. I thought we would get them like during the matchup. It wasn't until Asuka came out that we got them, but we still got them. So, the crowd couldn't get on unison with it. It wasn't a smooth execution of the chant. But they got the chant going, and it's notable because the fans. It is not just an online thing. It's not just the vocal minority. It's the people in the building that is paying the money for the tickets that want to see Kyrie because of how it was done, basically, because they never finished the story that they were telling for the past 6 months of Kyrie finally turning on Asuka. So they want to see some type of completion of that storyline. The match itself, Io and Becky, I thought was very good matchup. I thought they worked well with each other. I couldn't get into it to be like, oh, this is a great matchup, mainly because I knew that I was like, it's not going to be a clean finish. I was like, these are two big stars. They're not going to give us a clean finish on television. So when Asuka came out and interfered, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's pretty much what I figured would be the finish, is that Asuka would get involved to cause Io to take the loss, and then Becky got the win. But they had some really well done near falls on the first manhandle slam. Io came close a few times to getting the victory. Love Becky getting her boots up on the over the moonsault. There was some hard hitting moments as well, so they worked really well. Becky got caught with a super kick right to the jaw, which looked really good. So they worked well with each other. So I would love to see a rematch between them, maybe on the pay-per-view stage, where I know it will be kind of one-on-one and we can get an even better matchup. But this was kind of like a sampler of what they can offer, and they've had other very good to great matches on television before, so this was more of the same from Becky and Io. I think they had one other matchup on TV when Damage Control was feuding with Becky Lynch in the past, when Io first got called up to the main roster. But the whole Asuka form of this was fun with the people chanting, and then WWE trying to mute the chant or tone it down quite a bit. And then also the funniest part of all of this is the vignette that aired later with Asuka's promo, and they basically tried to retcon Kairi out of here. They do the whole picture of them standing next to each other, and there's obviously a third person there, and they just stop the camera short of Io, and you see the third person's arm. They try to cut her out of all the different clips that they have of the build up to this, and then the one line that kind of reference her without saying her name is, oh, I had another protege, and I had to cut her out so she wouldn't become another Io. I was like, they really wrote her out of the storyline without completing the storyline. And this is why, all of that and the way they did that on Monday Night Raw with the muting of the chant and then trying to retcon everything with the video package, it made me just be like, that whole report that came out of Dave Meltzer talking about Kairi wanted to go back to Japan, and that it was her decision, not WWE's, of why she was a part of the releases. I was like, this smelled kind of funny, Dave. I'm not saying that your report is wrong. I'm not going to say that because I don't know your sources. I don't know what your sources is telling you. And you've gotten stuff right in the past. So I'm not going to call out the times that you've gotten wrong. So I'm not going to say it's a false report. It just smells funny because if you knew she wanted to be back in Japan and you were going to make her a part of the releases or let her go, and this has been known to apparently to some other people, because when I first told the True Hill Heat chat about she was a part of the releases, shout out to Sober Guy JJ, was like, oh yeah, she made some cryptic messages on social media a couple of weeks ago, and people were saying that she wanted to leave. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't hear anything about that. But this is not something that just came up on Monday Night Raw last Monday, that she wanted to go back to Japan. It had to be something that they had known for quite some time, which means you should complete your damn storyline and write her off that way.
Yeah, I don't fully buy that she asked for her release at this point. it feels like, given how close she was, certainly with Io, and how close she'd worked with Asuka and everything, she would at least want to like see this through. You know, like maybe she did ask for her release and they thought that, oh well, we're releasing a bunch of people now, so why don't we just group her in with everybody here? Like maybe that's how it all played out. But again, it feels like, given her relationship with Asuka and Io, she would at least want to see out this story before being like, okay, release me. Because I'm sure you saw this, but you know, they were the backup for WrestleMania. They confirmed that. They got new gear for WrestleMania. So she at least wanted to be there for WrestleMania to go through with that whole thing. And then we were only a week after WrestleMania, and then they did these releases. So I'm not fully buying that. Again, maybe she did. I don't think, if she did, I don't think it was a thing of like, hey, I want it now. It feels like it might have been a thing of like, hey, can we like get through this and then maybe reevaluate type of thing. I don't know. You know, I could be completely wrong of the situation here, and no one's probably ever gonna know unless Kairi actually comes out and says something. But yeah, I'm gonna trust that she was close enough with those two to be like, all right, let's get this completed here. And yeah, the fact that they muted the chants, it's always very obvious because you can tell when the crowd volume dies, and then you got like the Logan Paul chants, and like that like completely just rose above everything. Like, look, I'm sure they're chanting Paul, 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 but I don't think it's that loud in the arena. Okay. Yeah, so they muted that, and then the whole video package was like, hey, it's just been Asuka and Io battling this whole time, and yeah, there was another person, but yeah, we just they could have been talking about Dakota Kai for all we know with the way that was referenced. Like, there was nobody else in there. So yeah, she's obviously not coming back. Maybe she already is in Japan. If that's the case, good on her, getting the hell out of here. But it's unfortunate that we never got to like see it fully through on there until she comes back at Backlash, and Triple H's like, it's all part of the show. See, you know, that's best case scenario. She actually does come back at Backlash, and that does happen. I don't expect it to happen, but keep chanting, we want Kairi. You know, maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen.
They don't listen to the vocal minority. They said the best test group that they got is in the arenas every single week. So that's the only way they will hear the trending for we want Kairi. So keep chanting it in the arena, and I'm sure they will listen, because this company has always shown they listen to the fans, right? Yeah. Maybe, sort of. Yeah. I don't know.
Exactly.
Don't accident con.
Io and Asuka at Backlash should be really good. I'm looking forward to that match.
That should be a great matchup. You know, those two ladies will come in with a chip on their shoulders because of being left off of the WrestleMania card.
Yeah. Earlier in the night, to really kick off the night, Seth Rollins comes out and he says that, and then Braun kind of immediately came out after Seth is like, Bron Breakker is the reason I lost to Gunther. Again, Braun came out, and Seth is like, you were the reason I lost to Gunther. You were the reason I had to forfeit the title and didn't get to main event WrestleMania and didn't win at WrestleMania. And how did that benefit you? And Braun talked about, like, I just took everything from you because I had to come out here, and this was the best part of the show.
I'm a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. I'm Seth freaking Rollins.
I was like, he's so good. That was awesome. Like, I had so many people I saw on like social media, and then I had people messaging me like raving about this segment, and a lot of them were like, oh, Seth cooked in this segment. I was just like, I thought Bron was better.
Nah,
Bron's content, he was hitting home for me. Calling Seth a number 2. I was like, oh, he's spitting. It's like he watched an episode of AE Ramble with me and Jimmy crapping on Seth Rollins, and he just went off on this dude. I was like, Bron is hilarious when his content in this promo was for me. It was for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When he did that, I immediately just thought of you of just like, oh, SP3's got to be loving this right now, because this is exactly what SP3 was saying the entire Vision run of, like, he just keeps saying the same stuff, and it's a babyface open. It's not even a heel promo. Like, I was like, oh, SP3's got to be loving this. I thought Braun won just based on this. Like, I don't care what Seth says, you've lost, buddy. There ain't no coming back. From this,
like, all Seth's doing is doing the same thing that most everybody does. Oh, you're part of the Steiner family. Oh, you got that from Big Papa Pump. Oh, you don't have brains. You're not ready. And I'm just like, this is not good. Like, why are we saying this about the young guy that needs to be put over? You're it's like you're giving him backhanded compliments. You're saying, oh, he has so much size, he has the look, he could be a main event drawing star, but he just doesn't have the brains. He's just not ready yet. I was like, I hate when they do this with Braun. This is why Braun's in the position that he is. Even without the injury, Braun would still be in this position coming out of WrestleMania. Even if he faced Seth at WrestleMania, he would still be feuding with Seth after WrestleMania and still be in the same position that he's been in for the past 8 months since he turned on Seth, because they keep telling us over and over again, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. We get it. You don't think he's ready, but you don't have to say that.
I hate that he's not ready. I complain about this with Hangman and Kyle Fletcher, so I'm going to keep the same energy on this. I hate he's not ready. I don't think it benefits anybody, no matter the situation. I just don't think it benefits, because either you beat the guy that's not ready, or the guy that's not ready is beating you. And I don't think it's a worthwhile story to tell. Like, just, you can put the guy over. I'm fine with the he lacks brains type of thing. Like, you're just a dumb jock. Okay, like, sure, that's a generic kind of just put down on somebody, especially with Braun. Like, dude, you just run around, you throw caution to the wind, and you're just kind of an idiot with this stuff. Like, he's a
loose cannon. I can get behind that. If it wasn't with the also you're not ready, I would not be too upset with it. But just keep telling me that, and then you're just reminding me that he himself admitted that he's not ready and he still has a lot to learn. Like, that's what you're doing. You're just reminding me that he's the one that, after it seemed like nothing was in his way of him winning the World Heavyweight Championship, Paul Heyman said, you still got a lot to learn. And he said, yeah, I do have a lot to learn.
Yeah, I don't see the benefit of doing the he's not ready. Like, you can prove that he's not ready by effectively having Braun say, like, he is ready, but then he loses, and then, like, okay, it's like, oh, well, maybe he would. But, like, to point it out to such a degree that they do it, to me, there's no real benefit to that. Like, if Braun wins, which he should, but who knows with this company, then people are probably gonna, like, forget about it. Like, oh, see, he did prove he was ready with everything. I just think it's kind of a lazy storytelling device to use that. And they're kind of doing the same thing in the main event portion with Roman being like, but at least Roman is asking it more of a question as a direct statement of, like, all right, are you ready to, like, carry this title? Are you ready for the responsibility that comes with all of this, the championship and wearing the crown type of thing? Like, I'm okay if it's more of a question than, again, just an outright statement of, well, he's just not ready. All right. I did love Braun's overall promo though, because even Braun did question of like, that's what you're going for? Like, I'm not ready. Okay, great. Like you're the person who broke down, brittle. You had the title, you couldn't carry it. Like, who is really not ready out here?
Yeah, and he was like, he even took accountability. He's like, yeah, I lost my first shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, but I can live with that, because considering that I lost to the best in the world instead of the guy who just claims to be it. I was like,
Yeah.
like if this was like a surprise, like if they didn't go over this promo, if someone said that to Seth in real life, that would stay. Seth gets very sensitive about that type of stuff, and calling him the number 2 was really good. And then Seth just went to like low-hanging fruit, in my opinion, of saying, you're not even number 2 in your own family. Oh, did you get that line from Big Papa Pump?
So I didn't mind.
Sucks. I was like, his delivery is good here. It's good. It was good in the promo, and overall the segment was good to very good, but just Seth's content in this promo sucked to me.
I didn't mind the did you call Big Papa Pump for the hookup there. I was like, all right, that was kind of clever. I'm okay with that. But you're not even number 2 in your own family, like that. That just feels kind of lame. Like, we get it. You already did one reference. It's okay if you're gonna do like one reference, but like, okay, so he's number 2 behind like guys who have like retired. Like, what? That's where you're going for there. That was the one where I was like, yeah, that line kind of sucks. The part where it was like, oh, good line, did Big Papa Pump, was that your hookup there? I was like, oh, okay, clever little reference. But you're number 2 to Scott and Rick, who are retired, so doesn't that technically make him number 1 because they're not around anymore?
Exactly.
That line,
like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah,
it's like you are number 2, not only in this. It's always been number 2 in this company, or number 3, number 4, number 5, whatever ranking you want to give him. I see King Potato says 6, but I mean that would be accurate too. But he's number 2 in his own house as well, because Becky's the better wrestler. So like.
Yeah, people have used that line against Seth. Yeah. You're not even number 1 in your own house. But yeah, at least Becky's active. Like, okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Yeah, Seth hit that line and then like did the mic flip or whatever. I was like, that wasn't a great ending line.
It wasn't ready. It wasn't worthy of mic flipping. Like, you said some bar right there. Like,
but Seth and Braun at Backlash. Hopefully Braun wins. I kind of expect Seth to win, and then maybe they'll do another match because, okay, they're doing that. He didn't get drafted. He got signed as a so for our audio listeners, other Mikey V says he's talking about Scott's son that got drafted, Brock Rechsteiner. He didn't get drafted. Signed. Yeah, he got signed as an undrafted free agent. I don't think he's going to make the team for the Titans because most undrafted free agents don't make the team. Like, it's very, very rare. I don't even, like, he wasn't great in college. Like, he was fine, but it's not like he was, superstar in college. He's playing at Jacksonville State and got, like, 2 touchdowns on the season. I mean, maybe if, like, you're number 2 behind him, then that does speak to how bad you are, because that dude's like the 1,000th best receiver in the nation. So if you're not even better than him, that isn't great. But
the best line Seth said, it was like, when I bet on myself, it results in main events and championships. When you bet it on yourself, what did it get you? Austin Theory and Logan Paul, private jets and happy endings from Paul Heyman. I was like, that was a good line. That was a good line. So he had two good lines in the promo. Give him
that. Seth was a little hit and miss, but then he ended on kind of a low note, and I thought Braun was good throughout. So there you go. Jack State is a solid program. I mean, if you say so, King Davion. I mean,
I'll trust you.
I guess
I'll take your
yeah,
word for it.
I'll take your word for it. But again, it's not like he was like he didn't put up like 1,000-yard seasons and like 20 touchdowns or anything. He just had, he had like a couple touchdowns and I don't know, like 300 yards or something. Just fine. I feel like any Division I receiver on any team kind of does that. That is supposed to be halfway decent. The technical main event on this show was a women's tag team title match, or not title match, but a women's tag team match that did not end in a DQ. So we at least got that there was no DQ on this.
Because Laredo's own Roxanne Perez, the biggest babyface of the night, was in it. She had to get the job done. Pop rocks. Getting the win over Bailey. The match was nothing to write home about. The more important part was right before it with the backstage segment. I thought that was really well done, and it's getting me what I think I really want at this point, because Roxanne, like, I think she's done really well, and she's shown a side of herself that I didn't think she was capable of as a heel since she turned heel in NXT. But come on, we all know Roxy as the plucky underdog babyface. She's always been a better babyface than a heel. So I think we're on the path to her becoming a babyface now.
Yeah. And when she came in, I don't think she was long to be a heel with them, but then everybody got injured, and so they kind of just had to keep going with it, because it did seem like during the initial bring in, it was going to be Liv kind of turning on Roxanne because she was jealous of Roxanne and Dominic was going to side with Liv. And yeah, maybe Finn and Roxanne were going to end up not together in that sense, but together as far as like siding with each other. And so that would make Roxanne a babyface. But then Liv got injured and Roxanne kind of got more comfortable as a heel and fit in with the group. And then they had to keep doing stuff with Roxanne and Raquel. And then Roxanne kind of got hurt. And so she had to be kind of off TV for a little while. She didn't actually get hurt. She had
actually, like a year ago, I thought it would be the reverse. I thought Roxanne and Finn would have been the heels, because remember, Dom was gaining momentum as a babyface at that time, and so was Liv. Liv was getting more of a positive reaction from the fans. That they could have just turned them babyface at that point. But I think the injury layoffs for Liv as well as Dom, I think gave them the opportunity to kind of reinsert them as heels. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think like this Roxanne was very long for the group regardless. Yeah. And you're right that she's a better babyface. Like, she wants to be AJ Lee. That's who she's modeled her whole career after. So she wants to be babyface AJ Lee. Yeah, it seems like they're destined to split at some point. And, Finn coming up and kind of being like, hey, don't trust Liv, anyone Judgment Day. Because, yeah, Finn's the one who brought her in with everything. And that's why I thought that Liv and Dom were going to turn on them and it would make them the baby faces, because Finn was the one who brought it in, and they would be like, how could you try to like ruin our relationship with everything? And maybe they would have got cheered out of it, especially at that point, but it would have felt a little bit more like a turn for Balor and Roxanne to be a babyface. And Balor just wished her luck. And then, yes, they did the match, and Roxanne and Liv won. I don't know where you're going with Lyra and Lyra and Bailey at this point. I have no idea.
I mean, should we start having these conversations about Bailey? Because 2026, her contract. Something about a contract, but she just seems so loyal for I don't know why.
That's a thing.
This is the freaking. Oh man, I don't want to compare it to that, but it feels like one of those relationships where you're like, this has been over. I don't know if you realize that this person is treating you in a way to make you be the one who breaks up. Like that's how it feels with Bailey. Like you were in a toxic relationship where the person is treating you a certain way, but you just happy because you got a roof over your head. You got food in the refrigerator. You could cook your own meals, and you're just happy to be there. And you don't want to leave the toxic relationship because you don't know what life looks like outside of this toxic relationship.
So, I think there's a small point to that. I think in your analogy here, you are forgetting the kind of external factors of they have a lot of kids. They got
This
like
is true.
500 kids.
Yeah, they do have 500 kids.
Bailey's tied to like 1,300 local organizations and charities and everything. And so she's like, well, I can't like leave all of this because then I might lose all of this. Like, I think this is a bigger conversation than just like what she's doing creatively in wrestling. Yeah. And that's where I think Bailey is kind of still hung up on. Because yeah, if you just watch her like the creative wise, it's like, wow, she should be doing and could be doing so much more. But she like loves everyone in that company. Like she, and I always go back to this with Kevin Owens when everyone was talking about, oh, KO's gonna go to AEW. Oh, like, can you imagine all this stuff? And Kevin talked about like yeah, like that's a possibility, but like I know the production guy, I know the camera guy, I know this person backstage, and like it's just tough to leave that. Like you build relationships with those people, and then all right, yeah, sure, I have some friends over here in AEW, and I can work with them, and that's really cool. But I can still talk to them. It's not like being here precludes me from just having conversations with them. It's like if I leave WWE, I'm never going to talk to these production people again. I'm never going to talk to Stagehand 1 again. Like, sure, I'll still talk to my wrestling friends, but yeah, I'm never going to talk to these people. And, like, that's what kind of made it tough for him to leave. And I see Bailey kind of being in that same boat of she is just so
probably
deep
even more
there. Yeah. She's been there since the NXT stuff. Yeah, she is there. She's so deep there that I just have a hard time seeing her leave, and especially because she's able to do stuff like the women's summit, like she's able to do like Lodestone. Now if that was like taken away from her, then I think it's a bigger conversation of like, wait, you're gonna take this away from me? Okay, no, now like this is the stuff that I really want to do. So if I'm not gonna be able to do that, then yeah, I will go elsewhere. But yeah, I think it's bigger than just like her creative isn't good and she should be doing much more stuff on television, because we can all see that, but there's just so much stuff that we can see, but we also just don't see that factors into a decision. Like
I don't. That. This is true. I don't want her to leave her kids.
There's a lot of kids. Again,
it's a lot of kids.
There's a lot of kids, and there's a lot of local ties that she has with the charities and the organizations. She's part of the PTA and everything.
Oh man, yeah, she's a part of the neighborhood watch.
Yeah, exactly.
She makes those brownies every state fair. Like, yeah, it's just like, no, she can't leave.
Yeah, she's like, I got to move to a new neighborhood and get to relearn all. Oh, I don't know about all that.
I know about all that. I'm at that stage in life. I don't think I want to do all that.
Yeah, exactly. Obafemi beat Grayson Waller, and then he announced the Oba Open Challenge. So their big idea after Oba beat Brock is just beat a bunch of people who are lesser than Brock. Okay.
So am I the only one that heard that? It was like, oh, so we're just biding time until King of the Ring. Okay, cool.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. It definitely just felt like that. You know, we talked about after WrestleMania, it was like, all right, what do you do with Oba if you're not going to immediately get him into the title shots? And it's tough because you don't want to put any other title on him, because any other title like looks lesser than. You're not putting him immediately into the world title. So you got to find somebody who sort of fits there. And that's why we're throwing out like legend names of like, all right, what's like a legend he can just kind of beat, because you're not going to beat anybody now because you don't have anybody great to beat now because you've established all your heels as losers, as we talked about after WrestleMania. It's like, what loser heel is Oba gonna beat for this month? And it's like, oh, all right, Drew, cool, he just lost. I thought Dominic would be fine because at least you get a lot of heat off of that. Yeah. But what other loser heel do you want to throw out here? Solo, nobody wants to see that. They're again a bunch of losers. So like an open challenge isn't exactly the greatest use, but they clearly just don't have. And this is not to a defense of them. They should have been better set up for this. They've kind of limited their own options to where I'm not super mad at like this open challenge of like, okay, somebody steps up, oh, they got squashed, cool. And then hopefully you do get to the King of the Ring and then he does just run through everybody and he wins that and he just ascends and people just remember of like, okay, cool. Like, I don't think an open challenge kills his momentum.
No, I don't either. I think that's it's just spinning his wheels, basically. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do is keep him at that level where he's now a prize that can do like an open challenge, so it does put him on a certain level like that. So I don't mind it, but it just read to me like, oh, they don't have anything better to do with Oba except for open challenge. As far as who I think could answer the open challenge, I think like people like Sheamus. If Sheamus coming back, that would be interesting.
we mentioned that after WrestleMania, Sheamus and Oba. Like, I'm cool if they feud, but I do like the idea of Sheamus answering the open challenge as well.
Yeah, Omos, I saw in the chat someone mentioned that would be interesting for like 1 week. Like the bigger competitors like your Otis's, War Raiders trying to get revenge on him for his debut on Monday Night Raw where he just bodied them and we haven't seen them since. They just exploded into the ether. Ilya Dragunov, because of his history with the open challenge, him coming over from SmackDown and answering that, I think that would be a banger matchup for Oba and Ilya to get in there and have a 10-minute matchup.
I don't know if you need it. Like, I'm with you. I don't know if I want Oba like doing like a 10-minute match on this though. I feel like he just needs the like people just come out and they just get killed. Like,
I think as it goes on, he is going to need like someone who can really like test him. So like that's why I said like Sheamus or Ilya, those would be the people he would do like a 10-minute, maybe an 8-minute match with.
Okay, yeah, later on, I'm fine with that, but I wouldn't. I just have him murk people to kind of start this whole thing. Like Waller's the perfect dude because Waller just you know, he looks the part. He sells well, and he kind of talks himself into like it was very funny, like him in the ring, like trying to like hype himself up and like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take out Oba, and then like Oba's music hits, and he's like, oh, I'm fucked. Like this ain't gonna go well for me. And then he immediately just gets squashed. Like I think that's how you got to do it early. Yeah, a little bit later on. You can do kind of longer matches because he's not gonna run through everybody in the King of the Ring. You know, he's going to have to have a 6-8 minute match against somebody in King of the Ring. And if you do like kind of a longer match, let's say it is against Ilya. Let's say you do like a 6-minute match against Ilya at the end of the open challenge. Maybe that's the King of the Ring final and Ilya gets like closer to beating him, still ultimately loses. But then like Ilya looks good coming out of that as well. That's way too much thought that they're going to put into it. Yeah, so I gave this more than 2 seconds of thought and they're not going to do that.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. I can see Roman beating Jacob and then Jacob becoming his enforcer in the bloodline. And then Jacob is the last obstacle in the King of the Ring final against Oba.
All right. Rusev and Penta won.
Because Rusev can't even win non-title matches. Oh my god. I was like, they don't trust this guy at all. What are we doing here? One with a roll up. He just faked out. Rusev, did the pump fake on him, and then got him rolled up. 1, 2, 3. Simple, easy.
And Rusev attacked after the match. Ethan Page was there. Javon Evans came out, and there you go. I guess we'll get the tag team match next week or something. Sure. We'll see what happens there. It seems like we're aiming to like a 4-way, either at Backlash or probably on Monday Night Raw. Knowing them. Yeah. The Americano and Rey Mysterio stuff that has been going on for literally a year is still happening. Man, when I saw like El Grande Americano challenge Rey, I was kind of like, all right, they're trying to build Americano because he's got the mask versus mask match and everything. Like, but then of course he just loses to Rey, so it's like great build there, dummies.
And was WWE aware that Laredo has a very large amount of Mexicans, and that the real El Grande Americano was gonna get cheered? And maybe they should have just gone with the flow of it working in Lucha Libre AAA when the real Americano is actually the babyface and the original El Grande is the heel. No, they just keep going with this nonsense. You got Rey Mysterio sounding like an idiot because if you watch every Saturday, he's always on the real El Grande Americano side. They even formed a partnership in AAA, and now he's like, "Oh, I'm not picking sides." It's like, you badmouth the original El Grande every moment you get on commentary.
Forget like the AAA stuff of which you shouldn't, mind you. But when he said I'm not picking sides, I was like, for the past year, both of these guys have terrorized you in some way. Both of them have terrorized you. You were supposed to face the original Americano last year at WrestleMania. Yeah. They have both been making your life miserable. And you're not picking sides. You should be like, fuck both of you guys. I'm out of here. Like, you're both fake luchadors. Like, this sucks so bad. It absolutely sucks. I completely lost interest on all of this. Like, I love the AAA stuff. It's great. It's the feud of the year in AAA. Yeah. It's very clear that Triple H is just like, nope, we've been telling this story on the main roster. We're gonna keep telling this story on the main roster. If I'm Undertaker, I'm going up to Texas. I'm doing the Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin WrestleMania 14, where I'm strapping the gloves on, and like, if you don't book my boys better, we throwing hands, old man.
I'm throwing these soup bowls. These soup bowls. You don't want this. You don't want this, man. I'll punch you right in your chest. I'll break your pacemaker. Don't play with me. You're ruining my feud of the year right now because you refuse to have the correct alignment. It's like, oh no, it's like two different stories. We're telling two different stories. Down there you got the real Americano. He's the baby face, right? Because he loves Mexico, but in the United States he heals it up on the American crowd, so he's the heel here, and the original El Grande is the heel in AAA, and then here in America, because he embraces America, because he is from America, he's the baby face. And we don't care if we're in Laredo, Texas, where they got mostly Mexicans and they're gonna cheer the real Americano. We're still gonna make the baby face the original El Grande. Everyone looks like an idiot. The real El Grande Americano couldn't even put the metal in his mask. He's looking at it like, oh, the precious. Let me wait for the original El Grande to come and take it away from me. It's like, oh, this sucked. And then they did the brawl afterwards, and it was not even close to the vibes of the brawl from AAA. It was just like, this is a poor imitation. This is the Temu version of the feud of the year from AAA.
Yeah, Triple H saw that brawl and was like, oh, we got to do that same thing, even though we do a brawl every single week on every single show. But now we're going to do it again with these two because clearly they get a reaction. And it's like, well, nobody wants to see your watered down version of this brawl. This sucked. Anything else from Raw?
Trying to think. I think that's mostly everything. Stephanie Vicaire got injured.
Yeah.
By the Judgment Day. I guess this was the storyline to write her off because she was banged up going into the WrestleMania matchup, or it's to give her time to get healthy before they do the Vicaire Liv rematch. Yeah. That's what I think. I think they'll do that rematch at probably like Clash in Italy or something.
That makes sense. All right. Do you have a moment of Monday, SP3?
I'm a visionary. I'm a revolutionary. I'm Seth freaking Rollins.
Bron Breakker with his promo written by me and Jeremy. That was my moment of Monday.
I'm going to go with the Tongan Death Grip by Jacob Fatu. I love a good Tongan Death Grip, and we haven't seen it in forever, so I'm cool with Jacob Fatu bringing that back. I like the Tongan Death Grip, so that's what I'm going with. Before we talk sports, real quickly, because I did watch the Stardom matches, I'll give very quick reviews of them. Okay. I watched the drunken street fight, which was, I love that they just start, they're just smashing beers to start the match.
Like eyeballs.
Yeah. And then they just start fighting right off of that. So I thought that was a whole lot of fun. I'm gonna be completely honest with people. I don't know too much about the storyline stuff when it comes to Stardom and stuff. I assume it was Walker Stewart.
Basically this from what I got, because I'm a casual Stardom fan myself, and I get help from Scott Edwards. Scotty Wrestling is the best when it comes to Joshi content. He was on our review on True Hill Heat if you want to check it out, and he explained that Micah got injured, and then she came back because she was injured against Hate, and she came back and she was like, she's gonna take down Hate, restore Stardom. And then she just got into a feud with a whole different other faction, which was Mi Vida Loca, Suzu Suzuki, and Rina Yamashita. And they've been feuding where it looked like it was going to lead to loser disbands their faction. Then at Dream Queendom, they got into like a no contest double count out. Then they faced again at Supreme Fight, and they faced in like a gauntlet matchup, and that match ended in a draw as well. And then Micah basically announced that her faction Nexus V was going to disband anyway, despite not losing. And then they still were teaming up, Micah and Hanako, and it seemed like Micah and Hanako were going to like break up, but then it led into this drunken street fight. So the storyline, from what I got from Scott, makes no sense, even if you watch.
Well,
so it was perfect for you to watch it just as it was.
Well, not only for this match, but just like in general, the matches that I did watch. I give credit to the commentator. I think it was Walker Stewart. I'm not positive.
Yeah, it was Walker Stewart.
Okay.
It was Walker Stewart.
I give credit to him because he did a very good job, like trying to catch you up if you were a new person, a new fan, kind of watching this stuff. But yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. The Drunkers Crash hardcore match. Megan Bayne and Shiri. Megan Bayne is so in her element in Stardom because all the Joshi girls are so much smaller than her, and she can just whip them around, and it rules. I was surprised to see her tap out because I'm just not used to, like, usually you would just think it was some type of a pinfall on that, but I really like the armbar, kind of the leveraged armbar where she also trapped her other arm submission there. So that was a lot of fun. And then the main event, Saya Kimitani is such a great little prick and just absolutely rules. It's just being like the cocky kind of dickhead who, like, when she's just like standing there, is like, all right, you gonna hit me? Come on, like, just all right, just keep though. And then she hits her with the one like wind up punch. Like, hell yeah, that shit ruled. The stuff they did on the ramp. I even love, like, it got a little too interference heavy for me at the end.
Well, that was just basically their end game. That's their WrestleMania 40. They're all in Texas because of the story being that Sayaka Carrara, if she lost, Cosmic Angels had to break up. So it made
Yeah.
sense. It made sense for the story they were telling.
So I got that part from, again, what Walker was saying, and that's why I didn't like fully mind it. And I also love the like backslide on the referee to like distract him, and then whoever came in and hit Sakai. I was like, that fucking ruled. I was like, American wrestling should steal that with some of these referee distractions. Oh, I did love that portion of it, but no, this match was fantastic. So I really liked all the 3 matches that you recommended me to watch, and if I think about it and have time, I will watch the kind of other 2, because I know the kind of other 2 co-main event matches were good as well. But I wanted to at least watch those 3 since those were the most highest recommended matches.
Yeah, those are probably my
fan.
top 3.
Yes, I'm very obsessed with Sama Kimatani.
Sama
big fan.
Kimatani from
Sama Kimatani?
Marigold. I think she was
Yeah.
from Marigold. I literally did that bit to start off the review yesterday. I said, and Scott even knew what I was gonna do. I was like, I'm gonna do a bit to start the show. He was like, oh, about Sama Kimatani. I was like, yep, you know it. But yeah,
obsessed with her.
Yeah, I think this is a top 3 show of the year so far. Like I have Wrestle Kingdom and Revolution. AEW Revolution and NJPW Wrestle Kingdom were the 2 shows that I've gone back and forth on what I think is like the best show of the year so far. But yeah, I think this is right up there with those 2 shows, because they just it has that spectacle to it now with All-Star Grand Queendom since the first one in 2023. And the fact that they were able to get freaking 8,000 people in that building, and they outdid the number. So it's their most attended event in the company's history. The fact that they were able to outdo the show last year, which had the career versus career matchup with Tam Nakano and Saya Kamatani in the main event, and everybody knew that kind of Tam's career was going to be over. That was also Mayu Iwatani's last big show for Stardom as well, and it outdid that. It tells me that Saya Kamatani is one of the biggest draws in all of wrestling. Like, she is one of the biggest draws. She's an absolute superstar for Stardom, and she really was the driving force behind people coming out and watching that show. But yeah, like you said, I thought the main event was absolutely outstanding stuff. Great storytelling, and how it played off of the whole ending of last year's All-Star Grand Queendom with Tam Nakano's final student being Sayaka Carrara, and she trying to save Tam's legacy basically, because her legacy is the Cosmic Angels group. And I love the build up and everything Walker was saying, how Saya Kamatani was basically like, yeah, Tam put her career on the line, but your career is worthless, Carrara. Put something else, put something meaningful up. And she puts up the Cosmic Angels. Like, I love Saya Kamatani. She's a great character, a great performer, an all-time, like, great, like you said, prick heel in that position. And Hate being so desperate with the whole story that they told with the final 3 matches. The Goddess of Stardom Championship match would probably be the 4th match that I would say, if you only got time for one more match, that would be the one to watch, with Azumi and Miyu Amasaki beating BMI 2000, and they were cheating. Their Hate was trying to cheat in that one to keep the titles, but the O2 line were able to take the titles from them. And then they were also desperate in Hayan versus Konami, but Hayan was able to win that one and win the Wonder of Stardom Championship. So the desperation was even higher in this one. And I like how it was Momo Watanabe, who has been had a shaky ground with Hate. It was one of the main reasons why Saya lost, because she kicked her in the head, and that led to the whole final sequence where Sayaka hit the 2 spears and then finally hit her with her own finisher, which is a callback to last year's main event where Saya beat Tam with her own finisher, the Twilight Dream. And then she was trying to hit Twilight Dream on Carrara, and it was the Cosmic Angels that came in and broke up the cover, and then led to everybody brawling from the 2 groups. And then in the end, it was Carrara Carrara, who hits Saya's old move, the 450 splash, the Firebird splash, to get the win and become the new champion. And it was another kind of risky, ballsy move from these Bushiroad companies. I said we started off the month of April with New Japan going against the grain and crowning the youngest ever IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in Callum Newman, and then we end the month with Stardom putting the title on a girl who's only been wrestling for less than 3 years. She's 25 years old. She was an art student before she started wrestling, and then she just started watching wrestling, became a fan, and then decided to basically become one of the first Bushiroad era trainees from Stardom, and now she's the World of Stardom Championship, and that's a great payoff for this run because, like, you know, Roman had this long run that was 1,316 days, and then he puts over in the end Cody Rhodes, who's already a superstar. Doesn't make any sense. Saya Kamatani had a 483-day reign, and she made Sayaka Carrara. Sayaka Carrara couldn't be called a star before this matchup and before beating Saya Kamatani with this record, this epic reign that she went on, and the fact that no one conveys emotion like Saya Kamatani. Her crying at the end as she walked up, and it was like, oh my God, you just started the whole story of her redeeming herself, and now she seems like she's the favorite to win their version of the G1, the 5-star Grand Prix, to get the title shot and get the title back. And Stardom's been very high and talking a lot about trying to work Tokyo Dome and trying to sell some tickets for Tokyo Dome. The way to do that is Saya Kamatani redemption tour and her trying to win back the World of Stardom Championship.
I look forward to seeing if that is what they follow with. I saw Taro Okada praise Saya and basically credit her for kind of the boost this year. And yeah, he did mention that the possibility of running the Tokyo Dome at some point. You know, business got to kind of stay hot with everything, but I've watched a handful of Saya matches, very obsessed with her, and every single time, like, just walk away more and more impressed. And yeah, her little prick-headedness in this match was just popped me so much. I really love a good, like, just dickhead heel who just, like, kind of eggs on the baby face. Like, all right, is that the best shot you got there? Kind of bullies them around a little bit, and then they get their comeuppance, and they're like so stunned of like, what the fuck? Like, why are you doing this? This is not how this is supposed to go. Like, I love shit like that though, and Saya was fantastic at it. All right, we got a super chat from Ryan. It says, imagine trading Ayo Dusamo for nothing. Bulls traded a lot of people for nothing, and now they got no coach or anything. We should be the coach of the team, SP3. I'd rather be the GM because I would have definitely sold off everybody a lot quicker and gotten something better than like no first round draft picks out of any of it. But what can you do? How you feeling about the Lakers up 3-1 now? Austin Reeves probably coming back in Game 5.
I mean, if we blow this series, I might have to retire my Laker fandom. Like, being up 3-0 and give up the lead. I'm okay with losing Game 4. I kind of expected that. I didn't expect us to complete the sweep, honestly. I really didn't. Even without Kevin Durant, I expected Houston to probably play their best game, and they pretty much did. They kind of shut down LeBron in a lot of ways in that game. But I also felt like the Lakers would take their foot off the pedal because of how miraculous that whole comeback was. And I saw you talk about it yesterday, being down 6 with 30 seconds to go. That's one of the funniest choke jobs I think I've ever seen in an NBA basketball game. Like that, I can't even take credit and be like, oh, the Lakers are just a better team. No, that was a choke job. That was a choke job by Houston in every sort of way. The pressure got to them and they just broke down. They haven't been good in the clutch this whole season, but this was even worse for them.
I had the game on because it was a close game throughout, So I had the game on, and then like after LeBron missed the 3 and the Rockets got the rebound, I literally just like looked down and started checking my phone. I was like, oh, okay, well this is over. And then I heard like Smart steals it, and I'm like, what, huh? And then I see him get fouled on the 3, and I'm like, what happened? And then they showed the replay. I was like, why did he throw that pass? What kind of dumbass pass was that? And then from there, I'm locked in because I'm like, okay, so the Rockets got the ball, but there's 25 seconds left. They might turn this over. I don't trust them to inbound the ball here. Like, I have no faith they're going to get a clean inbound off of this. And even if they get a clean inbound, I'm like, I don't have faith they're going to make these free throws. So this ain't close to over at all. And then, yeah, LeBron pokes the ball away, hits the 3 and everything. Like that, how do you choke it? Once it went to overtime, I was like, there's no way they're winning overtime. They you can't recover from that.
And the Lakers didn't even play that well in overtime.
No, both teams sucked in overtime, but the Lakers
were
were
just better than them. Like they were just so bad. So, and yeah, I'm happy that it seems like we're finally gonna get Austin Reeves back. And I did want him to at least get a game in because I didn't want him to come back and have to face that Oklahoma City Thunder defense. And bravo to y'all for completing the sweep. I expected that with the play that the Phoenix Suns have been playing or the lack of play from Devin Booker. But yeah, I'm glad we can get at least one game in with Austin Reeves, see where he's at health-wise on his comeback here, and hopefully close out this series against Houston. I think what is it, tonight? Is it tonight or tomorrow?
No, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So hopefully we close that out tomorrow night, and I am on here on Thursday with the sermon. I will be doing a sermon if we get past the Houston Rockets, just for all of y'all.
I wanna believe that the Rockets can force a game 6 and potentially a game 7. Before game 4, that was the worst team I watched all playoffs. Like and only them and the Suns hadn't won a game. At least the Suns had the excuse of playing the best team in the league. Like the Rockets were facing a 4th seed who they were 1 game worse than during the regular season, missing 2 of their top 3 players. You can't play that bad and lose like that terribly. And so like the first 2 games, they looked awful. And then the 3rd game they should have won and completely choked it away. And look, the last game, like they played great. You would kind of expect it. A lot of turnovers for the Lakers, and if they clean that up, I think they'll be okay. Like I wanted to kind of talk myself into the Rockets sort of coming back. I have no belief in the Rockets. I'm always the type of person. This has nothing to do with like your Lakers or anything. I'm the type of person that like, oh, they can do it because I'm the same way of like the Nuggets can do it. The Pistons can do it.
I think the Nuggets are gonna do it.
I think that. Yeah, I think so. The Nuggets will kind of do it as well because Ant and DiVincenzo are out. Yeah. But like if
that sucks for Dante, man.
Yeah,
I was really sad about hearing that. I was like, damn, man. Like Anthony Edwards was one thing, but Dante, him being out for like the rest of the season, probably the start of next season, because it's an Achilles tear. Like that sucks.
Yeah, like I think the Nuggets will probably do the comeback as well. But then again, you watch them those first 4 games, and it's like,
oh, they look bad. It is a barbecue chicken against the Spurs if they playing like this against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Spurs is not going to play with them. I don't even care if we got concussed Wemby. I don't even care the way the Nuggets is playing, and specifically Nikola Jokic. There's some question marks around him. There's some question marks. He's on fraud watch. He's on fraud watch, especially if this Minnesota Timberwolves team get one more win against him. Yeah. Oh man. I'm
not going to retcon his entire career because of one.
No, I'm not retconning his entire.
No, I know. I'm not saying you, but there are a lot of people who are going to do this.
I've questioned this for 4 years. I was like, yes, one of the greatest offensive players of all time. But if he only plays one side of the court, why don't more people talk about that? And that's why I've been so vocal about the flaws of Nikola Jokic, because he gets talked about like he's a perfect player when he is not.
Well, it's not even the defense. I mean, his defense hasn't been good. Don't get me wrong, but like offensively, he struggled.
Oh, he hasn't been. Yeah, he struggled against Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is his kryptonite.
Gobert, like he torched Gobert in the playoffs a few years ago. I don't know if Gobert is specifically his kryptonite. Gobert's been playing great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be
in the
shocked,
clutch.
like,
in the clutch, even in that series 2 years ago, in the clutch, Gobert was locking him up.
Yeah, Gobert plays him very well. He's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the length to deal with him. He plays him very well. It is very funny that like Alex Caruso locks up Jokic in Game 7, and everybody's like, Alex Caruso, scrappy defender. Like, he gets away with a lot, but man, I can't believe he's just like fighting through the post and everything. And then like Gobert does well against Jokic, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, and everyone's like, how the fuck can Jokic not figure out Gobert?
Yo, people like, yeah, if there is like a top 10, well, that's what we need to do probably on Thursday for our basketball talk. After we talk about hopefully the Lakers winning, we need to talk about the top 10 most hated players in the NBA, because I think Rudy Gobert is an easy top 5 guy, because they talk about him like he's not a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Like he gets kind of OD hate because what he did with the whole pandemic thing, what he like the way he is in general, like, yeah, he gets a lot of hate.
He very much does, and I'm not the biggest Gobert fan or anything. It's not even the pandemic stuff. I just like kind of find him annoying. Maybe it's because he's French, but I just like find him just sort of annoying. Legitimately though, my favorite thing in basketball is watch any Wolves game, and I think I've mentioned this before, but watch any Wolves game. And when Gobert just running down the lane with his hands up, like he sets the screen and he runs down the lane. He's like, toss me the ball, guys. Toss me, and like no one tosses him the ball. It's the funniest thing. He's not
gonna catch it.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing in the world. Watch how many times per game this happens. You'll see it on nearly every single offensive possession from the Timberwolves, because he sets a screen on nearly every single offensive possession. It's so funny to me watching him run down the lane with his hands up and like nobody throws him the ball. But watch that for the next Timberwolves game. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Nuggets pull this off, just because the situation lends it to that. And look, if the Nuggets come back, like, it's still not a great look for Jokic, because no one's going to forget the first 4 games of this series. Yeah. But if they go 7 with the Spurs, or if they beat the Spurs, then people are going to be like, oh, well, Jokic, he's back with everything. Mm-hmm. Now, look, yeah. I'd favor the Spurs against them. Don't get me wrong. But it's so, like, the game-to-game takes, I try not to get, like, caught up in all of that. Because I think it's very just disingenuous to look at the game-to-game stuff. Like, once the series is over, then it feels like a better evaluation of things. But yeah, I'm not going to completely dismiss someone's entire legacy because they're struggling to this degree. Now, should he be struggling to this degree? No. Like, he should be playing better. Don't get me wrong. But it has no impact.
It's overall, it's also the Nuggets' offense in general. I thought that their offense was immaculate in the regular season, and they have just been exposed. Like, if you lock down everybody and it's just Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic they got to count on, and Jokic's shot is not falling, they don't look that good. Well, they don't look like this world-beating team. They couldn't even put up 100 points. What was it, Game 4?
It was Game 3 and 4. They didn't score
Game 3 and
100. 4, yeah, it was 2 games, because I looked at this and they only had 2 games in the entire regular season where they didn't break 100. And Jokic didn't play in either of those games, and Murray didn't play in one of them. That's why, I was very impressed with Minnesota's defense. That they've held Denver to under 100 in 2 games, which literally did not happen at all when Jokic was in the lineup during the regular season. It only happened 2 times regardless whether Jokic was there or not. Their offense hasn't been good, but that's always kind of been the beat of the Nuggets is, do you want Jokic to score 40 but take away everybody else? And and a lot of teams will live with that. But when Jokic is like actually scoring 40, it's a lot different. It looks a lot different than when, all right, he's going to take 30 shots and only score 30. Like, that's not efficient at all. Like, a lot of people will just like, all right, let Jokic kind of get his and take away everything else. But again, if Jokic is going to actually be efficient when he's getting his, that doesn't look like the best strategy in the world. Then it looks like, oh, don't let Jokic beat you. Let everybody else try to beat you. And so it becomes pick your poison. But yeah, if Jokic is going to play like this, it's like, okay, yeah, let Jokic takes all the shot he wants because they ain't doing anything with it. Louis, your Magic, I know you rebought stock. I can't believe they won both games in Orlando. I thought it'd be 2-2 after game 2 because the Magic won game 1. That was a surprise. Pistons came back, whooped them in game 2. I was like, all right, that seems more like it. But I was like, Orlando played so well in game 1 that I feel like they'll get at least 1 in Orlando.
Yeah,
but the Pistons
I thought it would be 2-2 going back.
But the Pistons,
Detroit.
the Pistons are so good that there's no way they're losing both of these games. And then it turns out they lost both of these games.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good series for Kate Cunningham and Jalen Duran, especially in game.
Durant, especially.
Yeah.
It's been very rough for him. Like, I knew he was limited offensively, but I didn't realize he was this limited offensively. Like, he looks completely like in some of these games, like he played better last night, but in some of these games, like he looks just really lost out there. Yeah. And then Cade, I don't know, you got to like stop taking threes. Like try to get to the rim more, take more.
And he's never been
mid-range.
The most efficient player, but damn, it's
that's always been the knock on him.
What was it? I think he had like 8 turnovers and only 6 assists.
Yeah, the turnovers. Yeah, the turnovers have been killing him
bad.
as well.
Yeah,
he's been struggling. He's been really struggling. And Orlando, I mean, give him credit. Like they've always been like a solid structure defensive team. It's just where's the offense going to come from? And then Desmond Bane's like, I'm just going to take all the shots and we'll live with that. Because like Paolo sucked last night. He got to the line, but he sucked last night. Franz got hurt. I think he got hurt either late first half, early second half, but they were missing him for a while. And then so Desmond Bane was like, all right, I'm gonna do everything. And then Jamal Cain's dunk on Jalen Duran. I was like, oh, oof. That was nasty there. Yeah. And man, the Pistons, imagine winning 60 games during the regular season and then losing to a team that was going to fire their coach 2 weeks ago in the first round of the playoffs.
And we all slaughtered Orlando when they lost that game to the Joel Embiid-less 76ers, but they have come back and said, nah, we ain't going into that shallow light. We right here. We still playing and still playing hard, and they could potentially make it further because the Cavs and Raptors series is 2-2. If it's Raptors who come out of that series, I'm taking Orlando.
If it's in Orlando and Toronto's second round, they're going to bring back NBA TV just to put that shit on there. They ain't putting this on none of these apps. At least now it's like, all right, Detroit, number 1 team in the league, 2 all-stars with Cade and Duran. All right, the Cavaliers, number 1 in the East last year, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden. Okay. Brandon Ingram? Paolo Banchero? That's who you're highlighting here?
Scotty Barnes.
I like Scotty Barnes, but come on.
like Scotty Barnes too, but he ain't no star. Like, oh man, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. But that's the situation that we look like we're in. Do you think that Detroit's gonna come back? I think they win game 5.
This is the like, I don't know, chaos optimist in me when it comes to everybody but my team. Of just like, how can they not come back from this? They were a 60-win team. The Magic won like 40 games. I think it was a little bit more than that, but like they were so much better.
The East was deep, so I think they won.
But still, 2 weeks ago they were talking about firing their coach, and like if they lost that play-in game,
a fire sale. They were talking about doing a fire sale for everybody.
If they lost that play-in game to the Hornets, the coach would have been fired the next day. And at the draft, they would have had to trade Bancaro or Franz because they've been like, no, these two just can't play together. We got to make a choice here.
And this would be like the first time I want to say since the We Believe Warriors that a 8 seed beat the number 1 seed without any like serious injuries. Because like the Miami Heat that beat the Bucks in 2023, Giannis didn't play like half of that series.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like any other ones in like between 2007 and now. Like the 2012, the Sixers beating the Bulls, that was after the Derrick Rose injury. Like, yeah, it's been all like injuries that have been the reason why these 8 seeds have beaten the first seed. This is just the young, inexperienced Pistons actually being the young and inexperienced Pistons.
I can't even give them. I mean, they are young, but like. They played the Knicks last year. They got some experience playing the Knicks last year.
That's the first series. I can't say that this is like experience.
It's the first round against the Magic, SP3. Like, ain't like the Magic got a ton of experience.
Yeah,
how many playoff series they won?
They should.
I look at
Louis, Derrick Rose was injured in that series. He was injured in that series with the Sixers in 2012.
I look at last year for the Pistons as I looked at a couple years ago with the Thunder. That Thunder team 2 years ago, when they lost to the Mavericks, that was an inexperienced OKC team. Yeah, they beat the Pelicans as they should because they were the 1 seed taking on the 8 seed, but they got their experience against the Mavericks. And it's like, okay, cool. And came back last year, got more experience, won a title and everything. The Pistons took the Knicks to 6 games last year? And the Knicks ended up making the Eastern Conference Finals. So the Pistons, and then this year, all right, get the 1 seed. You're facing an Orlando team that they ain't accomplished anything. Desmond Bane's their most accomplished player. He's gotten out of the first round. Maybe. I don't even know if Desmond Bane's been out of the first round, honestly. Those Memphis teams were fraudulent as hell. They were top 3 seed, but they didn't win no playoff series.
They were. The Lakers beat them. I remember that.
Yeah, so it ain't like they are playing a team that's like been to the finals or even the Eastern Conference Finals. They're playing a team that got less experience than them, who they were there's no excuses for Detroit. None. I don't give them the young inexperienced thing. I don't give them anything. This is just it's a garbage performance. Yeah, it's an absolute garbage performance from them. Yeah, no shooting. I like the Thompson twins. I think they're like good. They're both really good. The fact that neither of them can shoot and Asor looks afraid to shoot half the time ain't great. Like at least Amen will kind of like let it go and attack and get to the rim and stuff. There was one play the other day. I think it was game 3, not game 4. Asor, he Ben Simmons'd it. He was looking at the rim, and he's like, oh, instead of just like taking this little bank shot here, let me pass it. Let me swing it to somebody else. Like, wait, you got a wide open layup. It was straight out of Ben Simmons. I was like, oh, that's not a good look right there. They got to figure it out. Like, I think they'll come back because, again, chaos optimist, but to be down 3-1, to go 7 against this Orlando team, ain't great. Sixers will probably lose tonight against the Celtics. I don't care that Embiid's back. Celtics at home. I don't know. Just feels like the Celtics
give them some more rest because I think the Bulls. I think the Knicks might be going at least 6 or they're definitely going 6.
Well, they got to go 6.
I think they go 7. They're going 7.
Okay. The Knicks are a funny team because.
They are the most inconsistent top seed in either conference to me.
Like they're better than the Hawks. Literally, the Hawks' 2 wins are by 1 point.
Yeah,
like the
they
Knicks
lost
just
2 games by 2 points in total.
Yeah, like the Knicks are the better team, but they just find a way to just throw up on themselves in the biggest moments. Like I just do. And then I suspect the Blazers will get closed out tonight against the Spurs. I told you Wemby was going to come back by game 4. they didn't want to play him game 3 because they're like, oh, that's a little suspect there.
Yeah.
We can't have him coming back that early. But game 4, he'll be fine. Once he was on the flight to Portland for both games, I was like, yeah, they ain't putting this man on that plane if he ain't playing in one of these games. I legitimately think they would have had him play game 3 if they weren't fearful of that there might be an investigation.
Yeah, that looks funny.
Yeah. No, I think that's the only reason he sat out game 3. But yeah, I the Spurs will close him out tonight. So there's that. I think that's all the series, right?
I think that's everything. We mentioned everything, so that's all we need to do.
I can't believe the Cavaliers are.
I mean, Cavs are inconsistent themselves.
They are, but man, like the credit to the Raptors, they're battling and everything. That game on Sunday sucked. Great ending.
Oh yeah, it was not good. It's not good for at least like the first 45 minutes of the game.
Karl Anthony Towns is so weird because it feels like he should have like 30 and 15 every game. He had a triple-double.
Averaging that. They have no big men on Atlanta.
He had a triple-double last game.
Yeah.
But like they just don't get him the ball. Like I hate the like he's got to demand the ball, like he's got to be more aggressive type thing, because I think it's just kind of it's almost like a cliche thing to say when you don't actually know what that means, because I think like Towns isn't being like, hey, don't throw me the ball, but I'm also just like, man, just like go steal it from Jalen Brunson. Be like, give me this damn thing. Quit your dribbling and you're gonna like take your little mid-range and stuff. Just give me this ball. I'm tired of you dribbling around everywhere. Whenever Mikal Bridges touches it, Towns should just steal it from him. Like, nope. You ain't turning the ball over, whether you actually turn it over or taking a shot and miss. This is mine.
It's been a while since I've seen like the New York fan base turn on a player as hard as they're turning on Mikal Bridges.
Man, they give up like 18 first-round picks for him.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't blame them either. But I'm just like, it's rough out here. You can't be turning on someone this much when there's still so much of the playoffs left that you want to get through, and you think you can make it to them. NBA Finals. The Knicks fans are so apocalyptic after every single playoff loss. No wonder they celebrate first round victories like it's the NBA championship.
Oh my God, Micah says Pistons look like ass. Durant's getting punked. Canadians choked game 4. Thank God for the Avs right now. Yeah, we're sitting pretty with a sweep. Both my teams first round sweeps, so I'm in a good mood for now.
Shea's been playing out of his freaking mind.
I mean,
I don't think he's missed a shot in the fourth quarter yet.
Nah, he should have missed that layup last night. I have no idea how that went in. That was like the only shot he took in the fourth quarter, because he was just like, AJ, just beat this team. We're good. We don't need me right now. He's so good. It's very insane to watch him play on a night-to-night basis. Sammer asked my lovely wife, like, how's Jeremy's mood been since both teams in the playoffs and everything. She's like, it's been like a 9, 10. It's like, yeah. Wait till the second round. Wait till this weekend. It's all downhill. First round, I mean, I wasn't worried about the Suns. I was like, if Jalen Green gets hot,
it's probably gonna be worse because it's gonna be us against each other, and if you lose any game, you're gonna hear from me. I'm gonna be like a Knicks fan for if we win a game in this series, I'm treating it like it's the NBA championship because I don't know if we'll ever win another one.
Yeah, I am a little bit worried about that. I would. Like, I fully understand however you react. Like, part of me is just like, I think SP3 is going to have like a little bit of respect because I'm just going to walk off the show and then I'm just going to be done if he gets like 2. If he gets 2 into it. I'm also just going to like give you nothing. But, we suck. No, I don't know what you want to say. Just sucks.
Both teams going to give me Rasheed Wallace. Both teams played hard.
Yeah.
Both teams played hard.
Next. Can we just talk about the other series now? Can we just move on? But like I'm gonna be respectful of if we win games, but like, all right, good win. Let's Still got a lot of series left. 0-0 mentality with everything. Like, it'll be a tough series against the Lakers. It will be. It's a good team. LeBron's playing.
Hoping Luka comes back for that.
I hope so too. I hope Dub and Luka are both back. Like, I want to see the best players play, and I want to see Luka out there. So I hope everybody's healthy for this. But I'm still going to be a wreck for both. So yeah, I might have to play your team in the second round in basketball, or got to play Kevin Durant. Either way, it sucks.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. And then in hockey, I got to play. My team's going to play Dallas, who's beaten us the last 2 times in the playoffs. Hate Dallas. Or Minnesota, who is one of our biggest rivals, might be our biggest rival. So I'm pretty sure the second round starts on Saturday for the Avs, probably Saturday or Sunday, maybe a little bit later into the week for the Thunder. Yeah. Enjoy me this week, everybody. I'm back on, before WrestleMania, it was like, oh, I'm good. Things are good. Then WrestleMania week's going to start and the playoffs are going to start. And I'm going to be like upset and stuff. Not 2 sweeps. We're good. We're good the rest of this week. Next week, I'm going to be miserable. Just all misery.
I need to invite you on our basketball podcast so you could talk to my nephew, the number one Thunder hater. Remember the one who said that Indiana was gonna beat them last year?
I don't like talking to the haters because they you can't be rational with them. Does he just use like he just use like foul baiting, like, oh, Shea just draw. He's not basketball.
Like he's not like that. He just doesn't want them to win. He just thinks everybody's gonna be
fair.
He goes Nuggets. He went with Nuggets at the beginning of the season. Now he's on the Spurs bandwagon.
I mean, nobody wants us to win because we've won. So everybody's like, oh, I don't want this team to win.
I like being right.
I want you to be right too. I 100% want you to be right.
I like being right. It's either, and this is why this is the perfect second round series for me. I'm either right or my team wins. I'm good either way.
That's why I bet against my team. I was like, I'm gonna be happy and broke, or I'm gonna be rich and miserable. But either way, I'm gonna be good. I'll get over my misery pretty quickly when I look at my betting accounts and see a couple extra $100 in there. We'll be good. All right. Anything else, SP3? I didn't have a poll question today. That's my bad. Everybody.
It's all good.
All right.
All good.
Let them know where they can find you at.
Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be alive in about 30 minutes with Top Guy JJ to review last night's Monday Night Raw. We'll talk all about that. Also, check out our Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom review with me and Scott Edwards from yesterday. We had a lot of support on our preview. I think we did over like 1,000 views on our preview. So let's see if we can get that for the review as well. And we'll start doing some more Stardom content. And and I'll be back on Thursday here on the channel. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to plug. No, not really. There we go. Evil's going to be on NXT tonight.
Tonight, that's right. Tony D'Angelo, open challenge, something, I don't know. And is it, who will challenge Tony D'Angelo?
What do you think his name's going to be? You can't do that anymore.
I know. I got to come up with like a new hand gesture. Well, like it depends on what his name is. So
Tamaki Watanabe. I'm
not going to be able to do a hand gesture for that. There's no way I can come up with anything. I scared the wife so much because the tiny one has all of her toys and stuff, and she has like the group of like evil people who, they rob the banks and everything. Yeah, she's very imaginative. And I was like, oh, do you want to know the evil hand sign? And the wife turns around and looks at me and is like, what the fuck are you about to do? Yeah, and she's like, what? She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, E-V-I-L. So I went with the pointer finger. Yeah, I went with the pointer finger. And then she's like, okay. I was like, come on now. You got to have a little trust in me here. like flipping off the kid, like like oh shit. Yeah, whatever his name is, I got to be able to do the hand sign out of it. So hopefully it's something to where I can do a hand sign. How can you do like an R? Because I can do like W, A. What's like an R? That kind of sucks. It better not be war. Have they filed for any trademarks today? Hold on. Let's see.
Check it out.
On-air research here, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see if WWE has filed for any trademarks today that might give away that it's Evil's name. Because they filed for some a while ago that I don't think ever got used. No, they haven't filed for anything. I still hope it's Mason Rook and the Mog Squad, because that's funny.
Mason Rook and the Mog Squad.
Yeah, they filed for those trademarks. They filed for Mason Rook and they filed for Mog Squad. So I hope that's
going to be the new House of Torture.
Yeah, exactly. Mason Rook and the Mog Squad. All right, everybody. What did we accomplish today, SP3?
We accomplished a lot. We talked about Monday Night Raw. We talked about the NBA playoffs. And of course, we talked about who the hell is Frank Isala and why is he talking about Kenny Beecham?
I think the biggest thing we accomplished today is bitter people just need to shut the hell up and,
all right.
And shut the fuck up. And play the clip.
I guess that means you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I do if I don't have no army. I would fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Quit being so bitter. Let these young men shine out here. We'll be back tomorrow. Myself and Joel talking hopefully about the greatest wrestler of all time making his NXT debut. Until then, catch y'all later on.